Watching Capital One Bowl Mania.
You're watching the famous Idaho Potato Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. And here in Boise, they ring in the new year celebrating the region's rich history with the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. We are at Albertson Stadium for today's game between the Ohio Bobcats and the Nevada Wolfpack. The Wolfpack, out of the Mountain West, won 3 of their last 4 games to earn this trip to Boise. Meanwhile, Ohio from the MAC won its last 2 games, earning the trip out west. Today, the Bobcats and the Wolfpack meet for the first time ever. And a good Friday afternoon to you alongside John Congemi. I'm Bill Roth, welcoming you to Boise, where today, John, we're going to see one of the MAC's most consistent teams, coached by the legendary Frank Solich.
Well, he's the winningest coach in the MAC with 112 victories. 5 years in a row, he's brought Ohio to a bowl game. In 11 out of the last 15 seasons, he's been in this position. Now, 53 years in the coaching profession, Coach Solich has only had 4 jobs. This guy turns young men into men, and it's a pleasure for me to watch him work today on the sidelines.
And boy, are we in for a treat with Ohio's quarterback. Nathan Rourke has been a record-shattering quarterback in Athens, Ohio. He'll play his final game in a Bobcat jersey here today.
This is a guy that's closing in on a lot of single-season records. He hails from just outside of Toronto in Ontario, Canada. He makes plays with his legs, but he's really good from the pocket. 50 career touchdowns. He's a 2-time team captain. He plays the position with smarts, with savvy, and he has a lot of freedom at the line of scrimmage. 39 career starts. I really like the way he's finished out the year. The last 4 games, 66%, 10 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. You'll like what you see out of Nathan today.
Meanwhile, it's been a very interesting season for Nevada. They had the opening night win over Purdue, the first ever road win over a ranked team. They won 3 of their last 4 games, yet it's been somewhat of a feast or famine season for the Pack.
It has. When they've played close games, they've won close games. It's those games that you don't start really good. I think you need to start fast in all 3 phases if you're Nevada, because you have to do it against a tough and aggressive Ohio team. You have to be able to win early. Close games, they're okay. In the losses, they've lost by a big margin, so you have to stay close in the first 30 minutes.
A brawl at the end of the overtime loss to UNLV led to suspensions of 4 Nevada defensive starters. That'll impact this game today. Austin Arnold, Daniel Brown, Hasia Sakona out for the game. Gabriel Sewell will be suspended for the first half of this game today. And of course, this one is being played on the blue turf in Boise, one of the most unique venues in all of college football. For more on that, we bring in the 3rd member of our crew today, Chris Button.
Bill, yes, this turf very famous. It also has not been very kind to the Nevada Wolfpack. They've lost 11 in a row on the blue turf, including 2 bowl games. Jay Norvell told me yesterday, there's nothing to that. It doesn't, have an effect on how you play. In fact, we haven't even brought up the word blue to our team this week. There are some coaches around the country who have had some strong opinions about the blue turf, including Rocky Long from San Diego State, who said, I think they ought to get rid of that blue turf. I think it's unfair. Mike Leachu has had some strong opinions on certain things, said, quote, I think animal rights groups should keep an eye on it so ducks don't break their necks trying to dive in. And Chris Peterson, who coached at Boise State, said, I think it's always the guys in blue uniforms that created the problems, referring to his Boise State players. Just so you know, it is a myth that ducks think that it looks like a lake and they try and dive into the middle of the field. It's not a myth, though, that the Wolfpack will try and turn the tide on their luck here on the blue field.
Sounds good. Here we go. Ohio won the toss and defers. Nevada will receive to start the game, and here we go. The famous Idaho Potato game is underway. Here's Swink on the return for the Pack, and he gets to just near the 20-yard line. And this Nevada offense will come on the field for the first time, and we will get our first look at Carson Strong, a young man from Vacaville, California, for the Wolfpack.
Big, strong quarterback from the pocket. He likes to deliver with that right arm. He's had a really Jekyll and Hyde type of season, really mirrored the team. Started fast early, had a nice comeback victory in the home opener against Purdue, and then he was hurt. He was injured, but he's picked it up strong, and I think that Carson is going to be one of those guys that has a bright future. Hopefully today he'll be able to produce early in this offense.
You know, John, he finished the season strong in the last 4 games, 7 touchdowns, just 1 interception, and Cooks takes a little swing pass, and that's a good start for the Wolfpack. Elijah Cooks moves the sticks, and it's a first down for this Nevada team, and you think it's essential for them to get off to a good start today, don't you?
Yes, they want to be able to, this first drive, if they can move the chains and get some points at the end of this drive, it's going to breed some confidence into this offense. Remember, both of these teams haven't played in over a month.
38 days, as a matter of fact, since this Nevada team had the opportunity to play. They've won 3 of 4 coming in, and they go with a 5-receiver set for the first time today. Carson Strong delivered that ball behind Putnam, but he's able to make the grab and stay on his feet into Ohio territory, and that's 2 good plays to start the game for Strong. That was Hagan that pushed him out of bounds.
There's the fast start that Nevada was looking for. You have a really good job on special teams. You get the ball in good position. You have 2 quick completions on the perimeter, a nice change of direction by Putnam, and now you've got the ball on the Ohio side of the 50-yard line. So 2 plays and you're in the scoring zone.
They're going with 2 tight ends for the first time. We expect to see some of that today out of the air pistol for the Pack. Try to run the ball a bit. And the first running play of the day goes to Toatawa, and Javon Hagan makes his 2nd tackle for the Pack. No gain on the play.
Nevada's going to go into a spread offense, and they're going to go to a heavy set. That time on first down, they went with a couple of tight ends trying to win at the line of scrimmage against Ohio up front. But Javon Hagan's number 7 in the defensive backfield. He'll be a guy to keep an eye on Ohio's defense.
Everyone around the Bobcats program really loves Hagan. He's a 5th-year senior and a captain on this team. Here's Stovall's first touch of the day. Strong's been very accurate early. That was the 3rd straight completion for him, and Brooks made the tackle defensively.
Well, it's a lot of catch and throw, and I think that's where Carson Strong finds his strong suit. He's able to diagnose defenses, catch and throw in rhythm. It's when he holds the football, that's where Ohio wants to get him, especially on 3rd and medium.
Lee is the back on this 3rd down and 6 play for Nevada. First 3rd down attempt of the day for the Pack. And a deep shot, just overthrown. O'Leary Orange in the end zone.
Nice coverage by Motley, because Carson Strong breaks the pocket and he's able to plaster down the field and keep coverage. Anytime a quarterback's going to step up and move the pocket as a defensive back, you better plaster. That means staying with your guy, and he was able to stay close enough. He gets a little push off around the 10-yard line. Wasn't called. Motley was asking for the flag, but no call. Incomplete anyway.
They're going to try a very long field goal here, about a 51-yarder for Brandon Talton. He does have a 56-yarder. That was to beat Purdue in the season opener. Let's see if this young man can make it from long range. He got it. What a start for Nevada. And Brandon Talton from Vacaville, California, gets the Pack on the board with a monster field goal in the opening minutes of play. Who has turned the Bobcats into one of the Mid-American Conference's premier programs, John, since he arrived in Athens, Ohio back in 2005.
We had a great conversation with Coach earlier in the week, and we talked to him about signing an extension and how he goes about his process. And he says, I take it day by day. I love what I'm doing, and I really love being around the young guys. It keeps me young, number one. He likes to help them move along from young men to men. And like I said, 53 years of coaching, only 4 jobs, 2 high school jobs. He was the head coach at Nebraska, and for 15 years here on the sidelines for Ohio.
This is going to be D.L. Knock on the kickoff return for Ohio. And he stays on his feet across the 20-yard line, and the Bobcats will have the ball. And our first look, and I'm telling you, I am really looking forward to watching Nathan Rourke play, the senior from Oakville, Ontario, Canada, one of the most prolific quarterbacks in Ohio history.
He's a dual threat quarterback, and what I like about him is his demeanor. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, gets everybody lined up, and has total command of the offense. And I really like his edge about him. He'll push that envelope in terms of the passing game, and he's not afraid to tuck the football and run it.
They've been on fire offensively in their last couple of games, and he's put up some monster numbers. A young man that didn't have a single offer initially coming out of high school, and he's been a record-setting quarterback for Ohio. O'Shawn Allison gets the first touch of the day. Freshman from suburban Philadelphia, Norristown, Pennsylvania. Good freshman running back in the MAC. Kyle Adams making the play defensively on Allison.
You know, Bill, it'll be interesting for Ohio because they're going up against a defense that has completely changed their defensive philosophy with Jeff Castile, the former offensive coordinator, being fired. 2 others. You're not sure what you're going to get from the Wolfpack in terms of being able to call defenses on a consistent basis. You might get some 3-man front. You might get some blitz out of the linebackers and corners.
They run the option to the boundary and a good run for Rourke, and this is the dimension that he brings to this team. He is the extra runner. Jordan Lee, the free safety, had to come in and make the play on Rourke, who is the 2nd leading rusher on Ohio's team.
That's the threat you have to account for when you're facing Ohio. Nathan Rourke will run the football, and he'll put extreme pressure on the edge of your defense. That's what makes their offense go. If you get a little quarterback run enough, it makes you want to stay at home on the edge, and that's where he takes advantage of the passing game.
Rourke keeps it again. And he got about 8 yards. Well, we mentioned the fact that they've made some changes for the Nevada team. Sears is inheriting this 3-3-5 defense. They made the coaching changes right after the UNLV loss.
Well, it's going to be a challenge not only for Ohio to figure out what Nevada wants to do, but for the Wolfpack defense to kind of get to where they're comfortable in their couple of new wrinkles they put in with the 3.5 weeks of practice.
From just across midfield, the Bobcats keep it on the ground again, and that's another first down. Allison again. This time he was brought down by Christian Swint.
Allison's been one of those runners all season with the quick feet, good vision. He'll find those small cracks up front provided by that offensive line, and he's been the main back this year for the Bobcats.
This team has averaged nearly 60 points per game offensively the last couple of games, and there's a big hole off the left side and some room for Allison to run. It's another first down for the Bobcats. And again, it was Swint making the tackle. Keep in mind, and Nevada fans know this, they've got 4 players out defensively on that side of the football, on the defensive side for the Wolfpack.
Nice jump cut and great vision. The 14-yard gain gets the football down to the Wolfpack 29-yard line. So again, quickness out of that backfield. He recognizes where the hole is, jump cuts to the outside, and moves the chains again for this offense. They've got numbers to run the football here.
Design quarterback run this time for Nathan Rourke. And another first down ahead to the 18-yard line. E.J. Muhammad making the tackle, the cornerback from DeSoto, Texas. Ohio's offense has picked up right where it left off after a month-long break.
Good check at the line of scrimmage by quarterback Nathan Rourke. That was, he just counted the numbers. There were only 4 Wolfpack defenders within that box, and you've got your entire offensive line. You use your running back as a lead blocker, and you're going to have success with the quarterback draw. He has complete freedom at the line of scrimmage to change plays, and that was a perfect example of doing that.
This has been a top 25 team nationally all season long in red zone offense at 91%. And they've scored touchdowns on 8 of their last 10. Rourke to the air, and it's broken up right at the goal line. Tremendous play again for Swint, who got his arm in there to bat that down.
Swint did a nice job of coming in over the top. He's going to take a breather. May have hurt himself on the play, but he's the last line of defense for the Wolfpack in that secondary. Actually, Tyson Williams was beat underneath. You're going to have a touchdown if it's not for Swint coming over the top.
Second down now for Rourke from the 19-yard line. They've been effective on the ground. This time Ohio was able to gobble up O'Shawn Allison. No gain on the play.
Don Peterson, one of those defensive ends for Nevada, doing a great job of winning that battle at the line of scrimmage. He beat that offensive tackle, Marquise Grimes, to the inside and just pushed the pile backwards. Good stop on second down, and now you've got Nathan Rourke in a position he hasn't been in yet today, 3rd and long. You want to find your matchup if you're a quarterback here. Where's the football? Where's your best chance on the outside? You got a man-to-man to the short side of the field here with Cameron Odom. That's where I'd be looking.
They run the option. The pitch to Allison. And the Pack is able to gang on him again, led by Sam Hammond, that junior from Bismarck, North Dakota. And a 4th down situation now for Ohio.
And it looks like Frank Solich has made his decision. He thought about keeping that offense on the field, but he's going to bring out the field goal unit. Good defensive stand by Nevada.
And 50-year senior Louis Zervos will come in to attempt for him a very short field goal. In fact, he's hit 10 of 10 this year from under 40 yards, and this will be officially a 29-yarder for the 50-year senior from Tarpon Springs, Florida. And the young man ties the game. So in the first 8 minutes of play, the teams have traded field goals here at the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, the campus of Boise State University in Boise, Idaho. 3-3 in the first.
The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Brought to you by Famous Idaho Potatoes. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal. And Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Oh, everything is about the potato here. This isn't a pep rally last night. This was the Mash Bash. 3-3, 8 minutes in here in Boise. Rob, John Congemi with you. Chris Budd on the sideline. I love the potato theme. Everything around this bowl. In the stand, in the press box, in the locker rooms, it's all about the Spuds.
They've been great to us over the last couple of days, and it's nice that the game kind of emulates the way we've been treated early in this game. Both offenses scoring, and now we should see some more offensive explosion as the game progresses.
Kickoff is going to land in the end zone. A touchback nearly went out of bounds. Here's our Spud facts for the game. The average American eats 124 pounds per year. They didn't take into consideration our crew last night at dinner, that average went up substantially.
That. Yes.
The largest potato grown in Great Britain of all places, 7 pounds 1 ounce. In this state, 30,000 jobs around the potato industry. It brings $4.5 billion a year to the Idaho economy. .3-3 the score here in the first, and a deep shot for Carson Strong, and he overthrows Stovall down the right sideline. Let's go down to the field to Chris.
Carson Strong missed his entire senior year of high school because of a rare knee injury that causes a lesion between the cartilage and the bone. He told me this week that he had probably had it since he was 12, and he didn't get diagnosed until he was 18. If he had taken a wrong twist or turn, it would have ended his athletic career. Part of the reason that he wasn't highly recruited, but Nevada stuck with him, and that's why he has chosen to join the Wolfpack and had an incredible first year with them.
Yeah, he was the first commitment for the Wolfpack in their 2018 recruiting class. He redshirted last year. What you have seen out of him is impressive as well as a freshman, right?
Watching him play the position, you know, the ball comes out quickly and he makes decisive decisions. That's all you can ask for a young quarterback, and it's something to build on. His accuracy's been good. He's over 60% on the season, close to 64. So I really like all the intangibles. Talking with head coach Jay Norvell yesterday, he said the upside for Carson is tremendous, and he wants this bowl game to be a springboard into spring ball and in the next season.
Third down now for Strong and the Wolfpack. On the short crossing route to Cooks, but it's going to be shy of the first down, and Nevada will be forced to kick it away. Another good job by Jared Dorsa, the middle linebacker, who is going to be all over the field today. Bobcat fans, you know all about the young man from Kingville, Ohio. He is a key guy in the middle for Coach Solich's team.
Good recognition by the linebackers. That was really the same play that Ben Putnam turned a 4-yard play into about a 40-yard play on that first series.
Here's Quentin Conaway to punt the football away for the first time today. Isaiah Cox is the return man, and we've got a flag before the play. Our referee and our whole crew today is from Conference USA. This is Billy Williams.
On the receiving team, 12 in formation.
That's going to cost Ohio a first down.
Coach Solich claiming we only had 11 players out there. The penalty, if enforced, would give Nevada a first down.
I'm counting 11 myself right now, and I don't know if Ohio was able to sneak somebody off the field or not.
Correction, there's no foul on the play. Fourth down.
There we go. That's something that Coach Solich doesn't put up with, those pre-snap penalties, and they've been very good this year.
He is going to change his defense here, John. He's going to play punt safe here. He brought his regular defense back out onto the field. There are two deep men to return the punt. And the Bobcats will get it back on the 30-yard line. First quarter tie ball game here in Idaho. We are back in Boise, Idaho, the capital city of Idaho, in the Treasure Valley. 3-3. 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Now look at today's PlayStation Player Impact Rating. Nathan Rourke's PIR of 85 is second best on Ohio this season, 25th overall in FBS. Rourke leads the MAC in total QBR at 74 and rushing yards among quarterbacks with 780. And you know, John, his 48 career rushing touchdowns, that's the most of any active FBS quarterback.
Well, he's averaging over 6 yards a carry for his career, and already he has 36 rushing yards today. So I think if he gets around between 60 to 75 yards on the ground, that's going to be plenty to offset the passing game.
He had a good opening drive running for 36 yards to start the game. In fact, Ohio got it done on the ground on the first possession, and they start with Allison on this possession, and he's knocked down at about the 34-yard line by Tyson Williams, the sophomore cornerback.
That's exactly how you want to tackle if you're Tyson Williams. You come up and meet the back right in the hole and knock him backwards. That was a beautiful open field tackle by Williams. 5 players on that field are officially listed as cornerbacks. Remember, Nevada is out 4 defensive starters who have been suspended after the brawl at the end of the UNLV game. That pass was incomplete, intended for the tight end Ryan Lorman. Important for Ohio to keep that momentum going. You love to see a conversion here on third down, so you keep the offense on the field, keep the pressure on this Nevada defense that is still trying to figure out what they want to hang their hat on today with an overhaul in their defensive coaching staff. Rourke on 3rd and 6 connects with his man Knock for the first down. He has been doing that all career long in Athens, Ohio. Just a poised throw for Nathan York. Catch and throw. This is exactly what Nathan Rourke wants to live on. He puts the ball right on the frame of the wide receiver Knock, and Knock's able to keep that body in front of the football and put that defender on his back hip. That was just beautiful execution by wideout and quarterback. I'd like to see Ohio take a shot here on first down, a little play action, and get one over the top. That's Walton going in motion. They keep it on the ground. Pick up of a yard on the first down play. You'd love to have some balance in the offense, and that's what Tim Albin, the offensive coordinator for the Bobcats, has found over the majority of this season. But over the last 6 games, they've really rushed the football well, over 200 yards. So they're hanging their hat on running the football, but I'd really like to see Nathan throw one over the top here, test these corners from Nevada.
They stick with the 2 tight ends. Albin's been with Coach Solich the whole time. That's kind of the theme of that Ohio coaching staff. Rourke keeps it this time. Knows exactly where he needed to get to, and he steps out of bounds after picking up the first down. Vintage Nathan Rourke there. He gets right to the 44-yard line.
Beautiful RPO off the edge. You're going to get a little play action. He's looking downfield. He tucks the football because that defensive end commits inside. He has leverage and has the quickness with the feet to elude tackles, and there's his offensive coordinator Tim Albin, who's been so instrumental in the success of Nathan Rourke over the last 3 seasons.
Heavy collision as O'Shawn Allison runs into Jordan Lee, but it's a good 6 or 7 yard pickup on first down. All right, so clearly what Ohio is trying to do here is establish the line of scrimmage, 2 tight ends, and hammer Rourke and Allison against Nevada.
Well, I think they're trying to stay ahead of the chains. They want to establish that line of scrimmage. They feel like they have an offensive line they can lean on. And as I alluded to earlier, they've rushed the football over the last 6 games for a number of yards. So keep churning it, but I still think you're going to get that shot play when you get those eyes looking in the backfield.
Let's see if it happens now on 2nd down. Oh, keep it on the ground again. And Allison has the first down once more. 2nd most rushing yards by a freshman in school history for O'Shawn Allison.
And the ball's been spread around this backfield, and as we take a peek at Allison, who may be still down on the turf, holding that left hand or wrist. Allison has taken a couple of tough shots early in this game. There's one on the left side. It just looks like that hand goes kind of limp. He may have caught in that shoulder or elbow on the right side there. He's up on his feet. Looks like he's going to walk off under his own power. That's always good news for O'Shawn Allison, who's carried the bulk of the carries for Ohio this season.
And the bulk of the carries today, he's toted it 9 times here in this first quarter. Well, if anything about Nevada, and if you've watched them play this season, when they play close games, they usually win, and they're a very physical defense.
They are. They fly around to the football, and it's really a credit to head coach Jay Norvell for what he did. He was able to try to bring in a new energy to the defensive staff by bringing in interim defensive coordinator Jody Sears and a couple of other coaches that he's added on that side of the football. And they're playing tough. They're having a little trouble stopping the run right now because Ohio's averaging over 7 yards per carry, but they haven't allowed that explosive play, that big play.
Julian Ross, number 2 in white, will replace Allison in the Bobcats backfield. Rourke from the 32, Ross's first carry of the day, and another good first down run. They are staying ahead of the sticks. He's inside the 29-yard line here on this blue turf.
Well, our first look at Julian Ross, we've seen Allison run the football effectively with that jump cut and vision. Ross is a pure north-south runner. This guy, when he breaks and gets into that second level, no one's going to catch him. He has that pure track speed you're looking for.
Sophomore from Kansas City, redshirt sophomore. He's in his 3rd year in Coach Solich's program. And he gets it again to the right side. Down to the 24. So they've run 17 plays in this game. 14 runs and 3 passes. This is almost typical Nebraska football, right? And that's Frank's DNA if ever one had Big Red in his blood.
Exactly, and this is how they've really worn down teams over the season, over the past couple of years when they've been at the height in the MAC conference. They've won the line of scrimmage, they've run the football with the quarterback and the running backs, and they've hit timely passes for explosive plays.
Keeping it on the ground again. Ross struggles. He's near the first down, but just shy. Lawson Hall holding on to Julian Ross. It's 4th and short.
That was a really good play, tracking it from behind by Lucas Weber. He's been out with a broken ankle, gets healthy for the bowl game, and he's able to trip up Julian Ross from the backside.
First quarter clock is going to wind down. It'll be a 4th down and short for Ohio when we begin quarter number 2.
The College Football Playoff National Championship game. Number 1 LSU, number 3 Clemson, January 13th at 8 on ESPN.
Welcome back to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Nevada and Ohio trading field goals in the first quarter. 3-3 after 1. The second quarter will begin with a key 4th down and short play. Ohio going for it on the Nevada 23-yard line. Julian Ross is the running back. He's in for the injured O'Shawn Allison on this key 4th and short. The option pitch to Ross. He dives, and he's got it.
That's where you take advantage of the speed of Julian Ross on the perimeter. Good decision by Nathan Rourke. Straight sprint option. He gets the ball out quickly, gets it out in front of Ross, and he's able to use that speed to get to the close to the 20-yard line.
Let's go down to Chris.
Well, O'Shawn Allison has gone into the locker room to get checked out. When I was watching him, he looked like he was having some pain in his right hand, struggling to make a fist, open it up. As soon as I get more information, I'll let you guys know.
All right, Chris, so that opens the door for Julian Ross. He's been a key guy on this drive, and he has the ball once more. This time up the middle, and Nevada is there in the middle with Dom Peterson. He and Jojuan Claiborne, the strong safety, come up to fill the hole.
This is where you have to be very aware of Nathan Rourke holding on to the football, taking it out of the belly of Julian Ross, because it seems that the Wolfpack defense starting to overcommit, starting to really knife down on the edge of the defense, and I would think that Nathan's going to be able to use his legs as we get closer to the red zone and inside the 10-yard line.
This is the 13th play of the drive, exclusively on the ground for Ohio. Now a throw for Rourke, and it's a short one to his tight end, Ryan Lorman. Verdell Robbins knocks him out of bounds.
Ryan did a great job of toe tapping the sideline. He could have went out of bounds very easily, but he shows his athleticism at 6'4", 250 pounds, just toe taps closer to the first down.
Lorman is from Athens, Ohio, as is his brother Adam, also a tight end on this team. They were teammates of Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner of LSU, who also played at that high school. Robbins made the play defensively. He is slow in getting up. And the last thing that Jody Sears, the interim defensive coordinator, and Jay Norvell need is another injury. Remember, they've got 4 defensive starters out by suspension here today.
Daniel Brown out with a 1-game suspension. Austin Arnold, 2-game suspension. So you're depleted in that secondary.
They will get Gabriel Sewell for the second half. He was suspended only for the first half for his part, according to the Mountain West Conference, who suspended those guys at the end of the UNLV game. So they will get a big boost with Sewell in the second half.
I think this is a play on 3rd and short. You have to really, if you're the Wolfpack on defense, you don't want to overcommit and stop that run to the inside, because this is a prime example and an opportunity for Nathan Rourke to use his legs on 3rd and very short.
They go with the 2 tight ends again. Both Lorman brothers line up on the left side on this key 3rd and short. That's Ross. Big stick and shy of the first down once more. It will be 4th down again. That was Sam Hammond making the play on Julian Ross. And another 4th and short for the Bobcats.
Ohio has not gone for it very often on 4th down. They're 1 for 1 today, 4 of 8 on the season. Those 8 attempts are the least in the FBS, but they're going to keep that offense out there again and try to get 1 yard, 1 tough yard against this Wolfpack defense.
Need to get to the 11. Instant pitch again. Ross down the sideline. Touchdown.
What a great job by Nathan Rourke on the speed option again. That's twice they went to the same play to the short side of the field. He holds on to the football till the last moment. He threatens the inside shoulder of the defender, Tyson Williams, and then tosses the football outside to Julian Ross, and he shows you that explosive speed on the perimeter for the 12-yard touchdown.
Zervo adds the extra point. And Julian Ross, subbing for the injured O'Shawn Allison, scores the game's first touchdown. And the Bobcats have the lead in Boise. Well, a few days ago, thousands gathered in downtown Boise for the 7th annual Idaho Potato Drop. That's how they ring in the new year here. This potato, incredible, 20 feet long, 17 feet wide, weighs about 1,200 pounds. You need extra sour cream, John, on
Absolutely. That scoring drive was beautiful. 15 plays, 12 on the ground, and they ate up a lot of clock. 7 minutes and 47 seconds on the 12-yard touchdown run by Julian Ross.
There's Toa on the kick return. And Nevada will start just across the 20-yard line. But let's take a look at who's making smart decisions, brought to you by NerdWallet, going for it on 4th down.
And it was only the 8th time all season that Ohio went for it on 4th down, but it turns out to be profitable. A 12-yard option to Julian Ross, who uses that speed on the perimeter for 6 points. That was nice, and for that run, you get to sign the hard hat on the sidelines.
Yeah, wide receiver coach Dwayne Dixon brought that to the program. When you score a touchdown for the Bobcats, you autograph that helmet. Salute Coach Dixon. Well, let's see how the Wolfpack responds. That's only the 9th play from scrimmage, that running play by Devontae Lee of the game. How important of a possession is this for Carson Strong in the pack?
Well, it's early in the game, but it is important because you don't want to fall behind 2 scores. In games that they've done that, they haven't had the ability to come back with consistency. You want to stay close, so you don't necessarily need to have points on this drive if you're Carson Strong, but you want to be able to move the football and flip the field at worst case.
Here's a throw for Strong. And that's enough for the first down and some more. That's a big play as Elijah Cooks makes his second big catch of the game out to near midfield.
Boy, that was nice run after catch opportunity that time for Elijah Cooks. Again, Carson Strong making a quick decision from the pocket, accurate throw on the perimeter, an easy throw, and he gets leverage on Jared Hampton. That's one matchup they're going to try to exploit. Hagans and Hampton on the inside, they don't feel can run with the slot receivers from the Wolfpack.
Down goes Strong.
That looked like it was McCracken in on the sack for Ohio. Just a really good job of avoiding the block on the line of scrimmage, and he sacks Carson Strong. Looked like a little trick play from Nevada. Eludes the block of the running back and then takes down the 6'4" quarterback.
And it's a big loss on the play. It was going to be a flea flicker, but Strong never got to throw it. And now 2nd down and 20 for Carson Strong. Bobcats coming on the blitz again. Strong gets it out of there, and it's caught on the 42-yard line. A wonderful throw and catch as Turner came back to make the grab over the shoulder.
A great throw beats great coverage most of the time, and that was a great throw by Carson Strong. You can't ask for better coverage on the outside than Ohio had on this play, but the throw beats the coverage to the outside. That's a dart from Carson Strong, who heads to the sidelines here as we get a little wildcat look on offense.
First time today that we have seen this, and the direct snap to Devontae Lee, and he has the first down ahead to the 37-yard line of Ohio. So from 2nd and 20, Strong, a huge completed pass, and then Lee finishes with a first down run.
You know, ever since that Wyoming loss for Nevada, they changed the way they're calling plays. Now head coach Jay Norvell took that assignment away from offensive coordinator Matt Mumme, and they've scored some points up late in the season. They had 21, 17, 35, and 30 in a loss at the end of the year to UNLV, but they've scored some points, so it's more of a collaboration with Jay having the final say.
Some misdirection again, and Tawa on the move inside the 20-yard line. This Nevada offense with a sense of urgency, Norvell says, since he began calling the plays. He feels like there's a little bit more oomph to his offense.
Well, the first mission of this drive has been completed. They flipped the field back now to the advantage of Nevada. Now they've got on a little bit of a roll. They've had some consecutive plays that they're able to stack some positive yards together, and now with the ball at the 20-yard line, you're thinking points. You want to come away with 6 here, but at worst you want to be able to get points out of this drive.
Tawa and Lee have given them a good 1-2 punch on this drive, and in the red zone now from the 20-yard line. Strong delivers it beautifully to Cooks once again. Short gain, but again he threw the ball well, and it's 2nd and 5.
Good safe call by head coach Jay Norvell. I think Jay was looking down his playlist there on the sidelines and may have missed an opportunity when he saw the type of defense Ohio put out, as Elijah Cooks, after that tough hit, is going to take a breather on 2nd down.
Tawa back in, the tailback on 2nd and 5. You know, they're under 50% on touchdowns in the red zone this year, only 46%. A pump fake. Strong swings it with his offhand. And it will be 1st and goal, but we do have a flag on the play. Strong was about to be sacked, but he was able to flip it out of there to Toa Tawa.
Tawa on the run, tackled by Xavier Motley.
That's Cole Baker, the injured Bobcat, the defensive tackle from Alabama.
And it looks like Baker in a lot of pain. That was at the end of the play. And it looked like that probably drew the flag.
Billy Williams is our referee.
Unnecessary roughness on the offense, number 65. 15-yard penalty for the previous plot. Replay, 2nd down.
Aaron Frost is the player called for the personal foul on the play. Baker being helped off by Ohio sports medicine staff here.
The personal foul comes from the outside with Aaron Frost, the right guard. And it looked like Cole Baker maybe fell on top of another player and got that leg pinned underneath him. But that was a dangerous throw by Carson Strong to get the football outside. That was a lateral. If that escapes, that's going the other way for 6 points.
So now 2nd and 20. Tawa back into the game at tailback for the Wolfpack. They fake it to him, and a short throw to Putman. And he got about half of it back, John, just inside the 20-yard line.
That's all you want on offense. Get some of that yardage back. Get it to a manageable 3rd down situation. You've got 3rd and 9 at the 19-yard line. I would continue to attack on the inside. That's where they've had some success. There's a lot of throwing room in the middle of this Ohio defense.
Strong showed some moxie here. This is the 2nd time they've had a 2nd and 20 on this possession.
And now they have a chance to convert.
And at least get some points, even if they don't. Inside the 20-yard line here, midway through the 2nd quarter. Here comes the blitz. Strong taking a shot to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Oh, he had his man there, Lockhart, but he couldn't hang on.
Boy, the freshman would love to have that one back, the receiver. I'm not so sure you can throw a better ball than Carson Strong threw on that play. perfect throw over the defense of Motley. And I think you come down clean, you're going to have 1 foot in bounds. Boy, you gotta have that if you're gonna win today to keep pace with Ohio.
So Dalton, who had a 51-yarder in the first quarter, will try a 37-yarder here in the second for Nevada. And it's good. So Nevada does get some points midway through quarter number 2. Carson Strong leads the pack on the drive. It's a 10-6 game here in Idaho. Well, our famous Idaho Potato Bowl is the third matchup between a MAC and Mountain West team. In the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, Kent State got a victory for the MAC. And then in New Mexico, San Diego State tied things up 1-1. And here today, the Bobcats and Pack are meeting for the first time ever. Let's take a look at our Bowl Challenge Cup standings, brought to you by Progressive. And hey, how about the Mountain West?
Yeah, they're looking up at the SEC, but they're 4-2. This game would go a long way to keep them there. It's funny how you take a look around, and this changes every year with the matchups. It all depends on who you're playing and where you're playing. But the Mountain West holding themselves pretty good account this season.
Norvell said, "I'm a better coach for having coached in this conference because of the different styles of play that you see." From inside the 5-yard line, this is Long on the kick return for the Bobcats, and he gets out to the 23-yard line. All right, let's take a look at what we've seen today from senior Nathan Rourke in his final game.
I think he's been directing the offense beautifully, putting pressure on the Nevada edge of that defense with the option. He's had the speed option, he's had the quarterback draws, not necessarily with his right arm, but with his legs. He's putting a lot of pressure with his deception in the option game, and he can run away from you. I think people take for granted how quick and how decisive he is when running the football, either by himself, putting it under his right arm, or dishing it on the option.
Rourke taking a deep shot, and he's got his man, and it is caught. A first down throw and catch to Isaiah Cox down the left sideline.
That is the speed threat for Ohio on the outside. Isaiah Cox.
Whoops. They may review this one, John.
That was going to be close. I'm not so sure if that right foot got in, and he had some of it on the chalk.
Gain of 38 on the play. First down, Ohio at the Wolfpack 39-yard line.
They're going to go fast before review. Tuggle is in the game in the backfield. He gets his first touch. And Tuggle banged out of bounds at about the 35-yard line by E.J. Muhammad. All right, let's take a second look at the Isaiah Cox reception.
Well, he's going down, and he's actually, when he turns his head to catch the football, he's going closer to the sideline. I think that right foot was okay. I think we caught the bang-bang of the right-left. The left was out, but the right was in when he had possession of the football. So I think that's a good call by the official.
Rourke keeps it on this play. Rourke has the first down. Rourke has the touchdown.
Nathan Rourke on a 35-yard touchdown run, Ohio.
He's been the difference for Ohio, the way he's managed the run game, and primarily the quarterback run game. This is great deception in the backfield. You get Dom Peterson, the big defensive end for the Wolfpack, in space. And Nathan Rourke is an athlete. He'll run away from you. That time he runs away for a 34-yard touchdown. 49th career rushing touchdown, the most among active quarterbacks in the FBS.
Extra point is good. It is his 13th of the season, and you are right, John. He has run for more touchdowns than any QB in Division I this year.
Welcome back. Ohio leading at 17-6. Nathan Rourke grew up in Canada but moved to Alabama his senior year of high school to help with his recruiting. He ended up not getting any offers, having to go to junior college before Ohio. He told me in the long run, I don't know if it was worth it. We had to separate my family. And that's why his younger brother Curtis decided to stay in Canada. He is now a quarterback also for Ohio, but just things have changed so much for recruiting out of Canada since then.
Here is the kick return. Well, Wild Card Weekend starts with our game on ESPN and ABC Saturday at 4:35 Eastern, 1:35 Pacific. Josh Allen, who was the MVP of this game in Idaho 2 years ago. The Bills take on Deshaun Watson and the AFC South champion Texans from NRG Stadium. Our coverage starts with postseason NFL Countdown at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Both are live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere.
Great quarterback matchup. And how about J.J. Watt coming back potentially in this football game? He's out 2 months with a torn pectoral muscle, had surgery, and looks like he's going to play on Saturday.
Here's a little flip to Stovall. And Ohio had that one read well. Going to be a loss of a yard on the play. I mentioned Allen, 2 years ago in this very game, he was sensational. 3 TD passes in Wyoming's victory over Central Michigan.
He was sensational in that football game. And going back to the Bills, can they get a playoff win? They haven't won, and they've lost 5 straight. I think their last win was in '95.
Not much doing inside for To'otawa from Lompoc, California, the central part of the state. That was Brian Arp that made the play defensively.
I don't think you can do it much better than Arp did. He stands up the offensive lineman and sticks out that big right arm and just swallows up the ball carrier on second down. Really advantage Ohio right now and putting all the pressure on Carson Strong to deliver from the pocket.
Arp's playing in his final game, fifth-year man from Nebraska. Empty set. Ohio comes on the blitz. Good job by Strong just to hold on to the ball as he was sacked by McCrory. The ball bobbled precariously in front of Strong, but he was able to hang on. That's the 3rd sack.
And 2.5 sacks for McCrory on the season. He almost gets this ball coming out of the hands of Carson Strong. Strong did a good job of corralling it, but that's a big play for Ohio. And we talked about the points that you're able to get on that last drive. Now it's advantage Ohio. You're going to be able to get the field position you want with a hot quarterback that's running the football quite effectively.
Runaway kicking to Isaiah Cox. Bobcats going to get really good field position after this punt return by Isaiah Cox near the 35-yard line. With 4:19 to go in the first half, Bobcats have the lead, and they are in business on the plus side of the field.
Stream your favorite sports, stories, and series with ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu. Get all 3 for just $12.99 a month.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Potatoes, the theme here in Idaho this week, and these young men from Athens, Ohio have come out and they're really playing well in this famous Idaho Potato Bowl. They've had a chance to really extend the lead now, John. How big of a possession is this defensively for Nevada?
Well, you need to stop, and it doesn't look good early.
Here is Tuggle on the option pitch inside the 20-yard line. Lawson Hall brings down Demontre Tuggle from Channelview, Texas.
Ohio has owned the perimeter of the field on the option, and really no one from Nevada has been able to set the edge or get some secondary support to come up and tackle for maybe 4 or 5 yard gain. There have been chunk yardage plays on the perimeter for Ohio in this first half.
Channelview High School sounds familiar to you. That's the same high school as Jalen Hurts.
What a great college career he had.
Oh, yeah. How about that high school team? But Tuggle is set to attend Arkansas out of high school. He ended up in Athens, Ohio. He's in there replacing Allison, who was shaken up earlier. There's a good defensive play by Sam Hammond. We've called his name a bunch today. He's had a strong game up front for Nevada.
Well, he's a guy that can play inside or outside at the end position or the tackle spot. That time he wins early to the inside right off the snap of the football and creates a negative play on first down.
By the way, Chris reports that Isaiah Cox was shaken up after that punt return. Not in the game now, but Ohio has not been throwing it a whole bunch. They've been using the legs of Rourke, Tuggle, and Ross.
I come back to the short side option play here.
He is going to throw it now, and he's got a man wide open, but overthrows a leaping Cameron Odom right in the back of the end zone. And Odom crashes into the upright.
And that's one you won't see happen often from Nathan Rourke. When he has a guy that wide open, you just want to throw it at him. I think sometimes as a quarterback, he's so open, you don't set your feet. You want to just get the ball close. And the more times than not, you're able to throw the football at him and stop him with the throw. When he's that open, you have more success. But you got to have that one back if you're Nathan. That was an easy touchdown.
Cox is back in the game now. He was shaken up earlier. He's in the game as the middle receiver at the bottom of your screen. A big third down play now for Nathan Rourke and Ohio. Tuggle nearly broke a tackle. He squirms his way to the 16, and Muhammad brings him down there.
Boy, if this Wolfpack defense holds Ohio to just a field goal opportunity, that's a win with 2 minutes and 40 seconds and counting before halftime. Remember, Ohio's going to get the football back, so you didn't want to give up a touchdown there with them getting the opening kickoff of the second half.
Louis Zervos, 1 of 1 today, and he's 14 of 18 on the season. Fifth-year senior from Tarpon Springs, Florida, very reliable kicker. And he extends the lead for Ohio with 2:17 to go. You know, this Ohio team didn't get off to a great start, but they were able to hang in there. And they got better and better as the season went along to earn their 5th consecutive bowl game.
Well, their expectations were to win the MAC, and it didn't happen. A record of 6-6. 5th straight season with a winning conference record. They scored a lot of points, but it just was the timely games. A couple of close calls down the stretch where they were on the wrong side of winning football games, and that led to the 500 record for head coach Frank Solich.
And if they win today, it would be their 3rd straight bowl victory. The Bobcats won the Bahamas Bowl in 2017, and last year won down in Frisco. And he is the winningest coach in MAC history, and he is 4th among active FBS head coaches. 75 years young, Frank Solich.
I just love the energy of Frank and the way he portrays that to his football team. I think it's infectious. You know, I think anytime you have the respect of a coach that's been there and done that for so many years, and you're playing on a team like Nathan Rourke is as the leader at the quarterback position, I think it's easy to embrace.
Nevada will get it one more time here in this second quarter. This will be Swint on the kickoff return from inside the 5-yard line, and Ohio's going to bring him down shy of the 20. Well, tomorrow morning on ESPN and the ESPN app, Bowl Mania rolls on with the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl between Southern Miss, the Golden Eagles, and Tulane's Green Wave from over in Fort Worth. 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 10:30 Central. Well, they got a field goal on their last possession. Let's see what Carson Strong and Nevada can do here. But first, Ohio's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, I think they had 12 on the field, so Coach
30 seconds.
Solich sauntered down to the official, calls a timeout. Probably didn't want to waste one, because if you have success on first down, you might want to use all your timeouts and try to get that football one more time before halftime.
Well, we showed you the route to Boise for Ohio. How about for the kids from Nevada? Very similar in that they had to really fight their way in. After losing 3 of 4 midway through the season, they had to finish strong to get to this game.
Well, they had a fast start, starting at 3-1. They come back from 17 points to defeat the Purdue Boilermakers in the season opener, and then they had some injuries and some tough sledding in the middle of of that season. And at the end, you have a couple of coaches that were fired on the defensive staff. You have your head coach and Jay Norvell taking the play calling duties away from Matt Mumme, the offensive coordinator. But they're still in this bowl game with just over 2 minutes left to go, down 20-6.
I was Putnam on the reception. Marlon Brooks brought him down. We do have a penalty marker on the play. It's been an exciting season, though, for sure for Nevada. They had 3 wins in the final 12 seconds of play.
They did. Like we said in the beginning, when the games were close, they were able to find ways to win to get to number 7. But when they were not close, they weren't. They were outscored by an average of 36 points per game.
There is no foul on the play. Result of play, second down.
So it's a 2-yard pickup with just about 2 minutes to go here in this first half. And Nevada, what they would like to do is figure a way to rally and finish 8-5 again. And with a freshman quarterback like Carson Strong, that would bode well for the future. Over in Reno, Strong delivers it high, but Cooks climbs the ladder to make the grab. That's a nice throw and catch again.
Boy, beautiful catch going up, as you said, catching it and high pointing the football to move the chains. This one got away from Carson Strong just a little bit. Simple curl route, comes back, attacks the line of scrimmage, and goes up in the air to make the play.
Norvell gets Devontae Lee back in the game at the tailback position. Strong to throw it again. There was some contact there. They ruled that an incomplete pass intended for Brendan O'Leary Orange. Motley had the coverage on the play.
Yeah, most of the time, Xavier Motley's been the man on the edge for Frank Solich's defense. That's a good job. I know defensive coordinator Ron Collins likes the matchup of his corners. He talked about them being tenacious, and they're going to have to be today for 4 quarters.
.90 seconds to go till the half. Strong puts some mustard on that one and delivers a bullet to Stovall for the first down. Fastball for sure for the freshman Carson Strong.
And Stovall took a big hit on the end of that play from Hagan coming from center field, but this is a good throw. Good movement in the pocket to find the throwing lane by Carson Strong, and he delivered a rope down the middle of the field.
Strong gets out of there, lets it go again, and that one's incomplete. Toa had his hands on it. Tawa, the tailback, but it will stop the clock, John, with 1:02 to play here in the first half.
Good drive so far from Nevada. They're doing a good job of moving the football, and I think in the pocket for a big guy at 6'4", 220 pounds, I think Carson Strong's really has a good feel. It's not panic, it's just slight movements to find throwing lanes. And he's found Stovall, he's found Cooks on a number of occasions on this drive.
Kelton Moore comes into the ball game now, the senior from Texas and a captain on this team for the first time today. 60-year player for Nevada. The heat is on. Strong throws it incomplete. Short hopping Moore. And that'll stop the clock with 56 seconds left. And it'll set up a 3rd down and 10. Ohio getting some heat now on Carson Strong.
Well, he walks out of the sack. It looked like early in the backfield. He's big enough and strong enough to be able to get outside and throw the football away. Looked like Welch might have been there with Seymour at the end there for Ohio, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack needs to get to the 35-yard line on 3rd down. That ball was delivered a bit behind Cooks, but he stays on his feet, makes the grab, and has the first down. Strong again showing us a strong arm, and that'll move the sticks, and Nevada will take a timeout.
And that's the second time Elijah Cooks has been able to attack the football, and this time run after catch to move the chains.
Well, Monday is the final bowl game before the national championship game. As you know, QB Levi Lewis leads the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns against Miami, Ohio, and their QB Brett Gabbert. That'll be in Mobile, Alabama, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN and the ESPN app. The Ragin' Cajuns and Miami and Mobile.
And Brett Gabbert might be the guy taking the reins from Ohio quarterback Nathan Rourke. He had a sensational game in the MAC championship, leading Miami to victory, and he's going to be the next guy everybody's talking about in this conference. And today, you know what, Carson Strong is making his case as a young quarterback in the Mountain West. Doing a nice job of settling in, distributing the football on time, and when he's had to buy some time, he's found windows to deliver the football.
Well, they've had to use 3 different quarterbacks this season. Strong, Malik Henry, Christian Solano started once. To the air again. He steps into that throw, and Cooks has another first down. This has been a really impressive drive, and Strong has really stepped into these throws. When he has time, he's been very accurate.
And Cooks has been the guy. He's been the main target on this drive, and Ohio's having difficulty covering him. You want to be able to score points here, but a touchdown would go a long way before halftime with Ohio getting the ball in the third quarter.
That'll move the ball to near the 10-yard line. Tubman with the reception, and the timeout is taken. 29 seconds to go.
Nevada, they're second. Please set the clock to 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Thank
John,
you.
this team, Nevada, had 5 games this year where it only had 1 offensive touchdown. To get to that next step, and we've seen this in the first half, they've had to settle for field goals.
Well, I like the way that head coach Jay Norvell has gone back and run the curl route and the same play over again. Sometimes coordinators or head coaches, you get so many plays on your play sheet, you want to get to everything. But let's keep it simple. If something's working in the run game, let's go back and repeat it. And I think what Nevada has done in the pass game, they're going back and repeating plays that have worked. And I think the combination of Strong to Cooks on the outside is something we should look for when they go to second and medium here, ball at the 9-yard line.
1 timeout remaining, 30 seconds to play in the half. They can pick up a first down at the 5, but the clock is more of an issue now. 30 seconds for Carson Strong. He looks right and he throws that way, and it's incomplete as To'otaua could not hang on.
Looked like Marlon Brooks was the guy closing in on the running back, and anytime you're not used to catching the football on the perimeter, those footsteps will influence the catch, and Marlon Brooks did a nice job coming from the middle of the football field to the outside.
So third down now with 25 seconds left for the Wolfpack. Again, they could get a first down at the 5. Blitz coming on Strong. And he's going to be sacked by Javon Hagan. And they'll have to take their final timeout with 16 seconds left. Javon Hagan is a big-time player for this team.
He is, and they bring the heat. They bring it off the edge. Toa wasn't able to block the safety, Javon Hagan, and he just overpowers the block to find the sack, and the quarterback, Carson Strong.
Playing in his final game as a Bobcat. He's been first-team all-conference the last 2 years. He's started for all 4 years for Frank Solich, 50-year man from Jacksonville.
Well, he's played over 50 games, and he has that experience. And that time in the pocket, you have to have that clock as a quarterback. You had man-to-man to the short side. He decides not to use it, looks to the 3 receiver side, and that safety was able to overpower the block of the running back.
And so the final timeout, they'll put the 3 seconds back on, and a field goal opportunity now for Nevada on what will be the final play of the half. And Brandon Talton, who has connected from 51 and from 36 yards here in this first half, will try to make it 3 for 3.
Well, this Ohio defense has been stingy, especially in bowl games. Through 2.5 games right now at halftime, has not allowed a touchdown in their last 2 bowl games, and they haven't allowed one today.
Brandon Talton is also a freshman from Vacaville, California, like his quarterback, and he drills his 3rd of the day. And that sends us to the break. Ohio leading 20-9. Solid first half for Coach Solich and his team.
Well, I think his offense really dictated the tempo and the pace, and Nathan Rourke, with his running ability and the option play and the zone reads, he's done a magnificent job of really keeping that Nevada defense on edge. And it's been the perimeter running of Ohio that's really killed the Wolfpack defense.
Chris is with Coach Solich.
Coach, you keep him out of the end zone again. What have you seen out of your defense in that first half?
That's a key. We're getting some pressure at times on him, but he's throwing the ball well too, you know. And they got some great receivers. So the ground game, I think have that somewhat under control. We need to keep it under control the second half. Do a little bit better in the against the passing game.
You've racked up nearly 200 yards on the ground. What's allowed you to run the ball so effectively?
Well, the fact that Nathan, our quarterback, at times will pull it and just go. We're having good luck with the option play down the line of scrimmage, where sometimes he's pitching it, sometimes he's keeping it and going. Those few plays are getting big yardage for us.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
The Ohio Bobcats bidding for their third straight bowl victory, lead at the half 20-9. To the studio now, Kevin Connors, Emmanuel Acho, and Cole Kublik. Guys.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
Welcome back to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. We're on the campus of Boise State University. The Ohio Bobcats looking for their third consecutive bowl win. They completed the great community off John Congemi. All right, what did you think of the first half?
Well, I thought it was exciting, especially on the Ohio sideline with Nathan Rourke running the football for 81 yards on 5 carries. He had a long of 35, and they really controlled the tempo and the pace. Defensively, they've kept Nevada out of the end zone. That's 10 consecutive quarters in bowl games that Ohio has kept opposing teams without a touchdown. So if that continues in the second half, it's going to be tough sledding for the Wolfpack on offense.
Ohio is very consistent year after year. Frank Solich knows what he expects out of his staff. The kids know what they expect out of their coach.
Well, I think the expectation on both sides in this bowl game, you never know what you're going to get. For Ohio, though, with a guy that's been on the sidelines for that many years and that experience, you want to play for him. And I think on the other side, you had some disarray in terms of changing your defensive coaching staff. The defense has played pretty well. I think for Nevada, they have to start fast. They have to start with their defense, getting a 3 and out if that's possible on Ohio. Flip the field a little bit and try to get that initial score in the third quarter.
They got to get into the end zone. They've had 3 good scoring drives, John, but they've all ended with field goals.
Yeah, and credit the pressure in the pocket. They've had a couple of sacks against a quarterback that's trying to find some passing lanes in Carson Strong, but they just haven't had that explosive play to find Paydirt in the end zone.
Here is D.L. Knock to begin the second half on the kick return for Ohio. He'll get out to the 25-yard line. And the Bobcats will start with the football there after a first half that Mr. Rourke showed what he can do.
Well, he was fun to watch. Here he dishes the option out to Julian Ross, who has that track speed. He gets in for the touchdown, but it's been the play of Nathan Rourke, the decision-making from the pocket in the short passing game, but more about his running and the defense. Here McCrory gets a sack later in the first half. Hagan's going to come in as Nevada's in the red zone. They turn away. Another field goal opportunity forced by this Ohio defense.
Bobcats have both Lorman brothers on the field from Athens High School. And a first down throw. Nicely done again. Isaiah Cox has the first down. And he's out to the 44-yard line. Let's go down to Chris.
Bill, Jay Norvell pretty positive when I spoke to him at halftime. He said this is a different game if we could just punch things in when we get to the red zone. He said defensively we have to tighten things up along the perimeter to limit their run game. For Ohio, a couple injury updates for you. Defensive tackle Cole Baker is out for the rest of this game, and running back O'Shawn Allison is questionable.
Allison was injured in that first half, but Ross has come in and has done a really nice job in replace of the freshman Allison here today. They fake the option. Rourke lets it go. And another throw and a catch. This time it's Cameron Odom, the junior from Bedford, Ohio. Everybody was going right, and he throws it back the other way, John.
Well, there's the wrinkle from offensive coordinator Tim Albin. We talked about run. What did Ohio do when they come out? They've thrown the football, and they've had success down the field. And credit the patience in the pocket by Nathan Rourke. There wasn't a lot of alleys to throw the football on both of those pass plays, but his smarts, his savvy, able to find windows and find the open receivers downfield.
There's Coach Albin. He is one of those mainstays in Athens, Ohio. He's in his 15th season. The staff stability for the Bobcats is tremendous. There's Julian Ross with the first down carry, and Dom Peterson, the all Mountain West Conference first-team defensive end makes the play.
Well, I think Peterson and Hammond, the two defensive ends for Nevada, they've come as advertised. They're big, they're hard to move, but I think the advantage is going outside of those guys. When you go at them or to the inside in that guard center gap, they have the advantage.
Rourke glancing over to the bench to get the play. It's a flea flicker. And it's overthrown. Ty Walton was the intended receiver. Well, that was the play call. Ross pitched it right back to Nathan Rourke. Probably wishes he had that throw back.
Well, there's two today that Nathan has missed wide open receivers, and it's uncharacteristic. I think he maybe just rushed this a touch because he felt pressure coming from the backside. If he had maybe a half a count more, he would have been able to get a little bit better grip on the football to locate it down the field to Ty Walton.
Nevada hoping for a key third down stop here.
Well, this would be enormous for Nevada on defense if they could turn away Ohio on this first possession of the second half.
Rourke connects and a big hit, and the flag is thrown as well. That was Joe Juwan Claiborne delivering the hit.
Wow, and Isaiah Cox hangs on to the football. That drew a penalty. It looked like there may be some type of personal foul and possibly a targeting tacked on.
It is a Conference USA crew. Billy Williams is the referee. The replay official, Paul Jones, who will be looking at it, is upstairs next to us.
38 of the defense. The previous play is under review.
It was actually Christian Swint with the hit on Isaiah Cox. There's Christian.
Well, Swint's going to come from center field. He's playing that safety position, and a great acrobatic catch to be able to turn your hips and idle your body down by Isaiah Cox. But this head down, you get a little bit of that launch at the wide receiver. I'm not so sure if the contact with the helmet in terms of was at the shoulder, or they're going to say it was the crown.
While they review it, we will step aside. Back in Boise after this.
The ruling of targeting has been confirmed. Number 38 is disqualified. The 15-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the run. It'll be half the distance to the goal. First down, Ohio. The clock will start on my whistle.
So Christian Swint, the sophomore from Compton, California, disqualified after the targeting call.
First and 10, Ohio, the Wolfpack 13.
And that sets up the Bobcats and Nathan Rourke in the red zone once again on the 13-yard line.
This is quarterback run territory for Nathan Rourke.
On first down, Ross takes the carry, breaks a tackle, and Ross is down near the 7-yard line. Well, the last thing that Nevada needed with 4 defensive starters suspended is to have another one ejected here in the third quarter.
Well, you're right, and it's tough to stop Ohio when they have the two-way go to start this third quarter. They really didn't throw the football that effectively in the first half, but they came out throwing in this third quarter, and now they've got the football inside the 10-yard line, and they have that two-way option to use the play action or the running of Nathan Rourke.
Rourke with the left-hand option pitch. That one is defended very well. As soon as Julian Ross got the ball, it was dropped by E.J. Muhammad, and it's going to be third down and goal.
Well, Nevada finally sets the edge, and they wait until they get inside the 10-yard line and backed up by their own goal line, but they have 2-on-2, and this is exactly how you want to play the option. Take away the quarterback run and then have leverage by Muhammad at the cornerback to turn the running back to the inside. Very good, solid technique by the Wolfpack defensively.
And on third down, they'll go with a 5-receiver formation, and Rourke will be thrown to the end zone. Although now here is Ross back into the backfield. Rourke lets it go, and it's incomplete. Broken up by Jordan Lee in the end zone for the Wolfpack.
Jordan Lee on coverage.
And that's a win for the Wolfpack on defense. It starts with pressure in the pocket. They made Nathan Rourke step up and then maybe force the football somewhere where he didn't want to go. Good coverage, as you said, by Jordan Lee. Gets that inside hand on the football. He was defending the big tight end, Ryan Warman, so now the field goal unit is going to come out. Points are great for Ohio at this point with a 20-9 lead, trying to make it 23.
Zervos connected earlier in the game, and he knocks home his second field goal of the day. And the Bobcats extend their lead. 23-9, early going, quarter number 3 in Boise.
Welcome back to Boise, where you see the famous blue turf here. Years ago, the athletic director at Boise State was getting frustrated. He was flying over. They had to redo the turf, and he said, God, I'm going to spend 6 figures to redo a green turf that no one is going to even notice that we spent the money on. So I want to be different. So they came up with the idea of putting in a blue turf, but they didn't tell anyone. He talked with the president about it, and he said, I don't want to make this public because people are going to say something about it. So they just rolled out with the blue turf. People have a lot of fun with it. We talked about how there's a myth that the ducks will come and land on here, which they say is not true. However, I've been walking around the turf. There are a lot of duck feathers around here. One other interesting thing is they have a trademark on it. So if you want to have a different colored turf, you have to apply and ask the school about it.
Interesting. Yeah, that was Gene Blameyer, who was athletics director here, that came up with this concept. This is the 6th version of this blue turf. They just put this surface in right before the start of this season.
Well, they spent the money wisely because this is known around the country.
And it's the only one in the world like this. All right, well, now for this Nevada team, we'll see what they can do on this blue turf here in quarter number 3. They got to get some touchdowns, trailing now 23-9.
They haven't had a whole lot of success on the blue turf. They've lost 20 out of the last 22 games here in Boise, so they want to get something going here early in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, 11 in a row they've lost. Toatawa has the carry on the first down play, got a couple of yards, but I think, as Chris told us before the game, you know, it's not the turf that makes it a tough place for visiting teams when they come here. For all those years, when Chris Peterson first came and started winning here, it was the Boise State players that made this such a great home field.
Well, you're right, and today it's Ohio that's had the upper hand.
Out of the backfield, Tawa again. And they'll move the sticks. A first down out to the 35-yard line for the sophomore from Lompoc, California. You know, his brother, Vi, is the running back coach here. Very unusual, and it's an exciting time for those guys. They say it's kind of tough love. Your older brother is your position coach.
Well, anytime you have that older brother that's keeping an eye on you, it's probably tough love, but looks like he's having some success in his career.
Gain of a yard on the first down play for the Nevada Wolfpack out of the Mountain West.
It's kind of surprising, Bill, that Ohio came out. They ran the football so well in the first half. They decide to throw the football down the field and get 3 points. Now, Nevada, on the other hand, they've thrown that curl route all at the end of the 2nd quarter to Elijah Cooks with great success. I thought they were going to come right back out and piggyback off of that success.
Fake to the left and a throw to the right. Here is Cooks. And he's going to lose yardage on the play. They're going to give him forward progress to just across the 33-yard line.
Boy, really good pursuit by a number of Ohio defenders. Will Evans, the defensive end, was the first one there, but a lot of white jerseys running across the field trying to get in position to make the play. Will Evans did so behind the line of scrimmage.
So it sets up a 3rd down and long. Now, to Carson Strong's credit, he's been behind the sticks a bunch today. 2nd and 20. Now 3rd and 12. When he steps into his throws, he's been really accurate.
This is where I would look for that curl pattern, that curl flat combination that they had so much success with.
Nice catch for the first down to the 47-yard line. Cooks again going up high to make the reception. That was Xavier Motley that had the coverage. Pretty good coverage, but just a better throw for Carson Strong.
That's at least the 3rd acrobatic catch we've seen Cooks make out on the perimeter, really making Carson Strong feel good about looking his way because he knows if he gets it close, Cooks is going to come down with it. 9 receptions for 104 yards.
Strong going to run, and he gets ahead to the 50. The ground causes the fumble, they say. That was Austin Conrad on the coverage on the play.
As the runner's down. Second down.
Carson Strong has shown some elusiveness within the pocket. This time he's trying to break out, get a couple of yards, and a good job by Conrad tripping up the quarterback. I'm not so sure the ball was not coming out there. The ball definitely hits the ground and the body before it comes out.
Play is under review.
They will review it. The whistle blew as soon as as soon as the ball did hit the ground. But they'll take a moment to take a look nonetheless. You know, Nevada very much in this game. They have been dominated from a time of possession standpoint, but still a 2-possession game.
You know, taking another look at that the second time, I'm not so sure an elbow or a knee. It's just the ball. Well, that left knee comes down right where you're going to have to get a good look if that ball's coming out when that left knee hits. It may have hit the turf, and the turf made the football come out of the hand of Carson Strong. Take a look at the ball and the left knee. I think that ball comes out and is loose before the left knee does touch, and we had a clear recovery. It appeared that Ohio recovered the football. That might be Ohio football right around midfield.
Now they blew the whistle, so that's why you couldn't advance it. But if they do overturn the play, John, it would be Bobcats' possession, and it would be the game's first turnover.
I initially saw the football hit the ground, and I thought a body part, the knee or the elbow or the forearm, was going to touch simultaneously, which would give the Pack the football or retain the football. But boy, looking at that the second and third time, I'm not so sure the body part hit. I think this is going to be Ohio football.
Yeah, after watching it, it does look like it was a fumble, and Ohio clearly recovered.
And with the field position potentially that you give up and the score 23-9, boy, advantage Ohio if this goes the other way.
Key Thompson clearly picks up the ball, right?
Yes, there was a clear indication that Ohio does get the football. And by the expressions of the sidelines and the head coaches, I think Ohio's going to get this football right around midfield.
Four Nevada defensive players suspended. A fifth has been ejected for targeting. And it is a short-handed Wolfpack crew.
After review, it's been determined the ball came out prior to the runner being down. The ball was immediately recovered by Ohio. First down at the 50-yard line.
Well, that opens the door for Nathan Rourke now and Ohio to add to the lead.
Well, it's unfortunate for quarterback Carson Strong because he was just trying to make a play, and as he was trying to keep his balance, he lost the football on the blue turf.
The game's first turnover gives the ball to the Bobcats at midfield, and Tuggle has a big hold. Tuggle breaking free, and he's down to near the 20. Gabriel Sewell made the play defensively, his first action today. What a huge run for Tuggle.
Well, first it was Allison, then it was Ross, and now it's Tuggle out of that running back position for the Bobcats. They've all had success on the ground.
That puts Ohio as a team over 200 yards rushing today.
And that makes it 7 straight games with over 200 yards on the ground.
On the reverse, here's Ty Walton going the other way. Good job defensively by Nevada staying at home. That was Lawson Hall. He's the middle linebacker making the play.
Well, it's been unfortunate that Nevada gives up the football offensively, but last time in the red zone and in that plus territory, they came up with a stop. They not only need a stop, they need a turnover. They need to find a way to get their hands on the football and change the complexion of this second half.
There's Gabe Sewell from St. George, Utah. Nice job by Walton on the reception. He's got the first down. Rourke does it again. He steps out inside the 8-yard line. It'll be first down and goal now for the Bobcats. Nice job by Rourke again, John, just keeping the play alive.
Well, it's a play that's not drawn up on the whiteboard. This is an ad-lib by Rourke to be able to keep a play alive with his vision and his feet and then find a receiver on the perimeter to get the football to. That's just an excellent play by a savvy quarterback that knows where his receivers are, knows where his outlets are going to be, and he's able to execute with precision.
First and goal on the 7 now for the Bobcats. Breaking inside the 5 is Tuggle once again.
Demontre Tuggle on the run. Tackled by Lucas Weber.
Well, we've talked about the skill guys. I think it's time to talk about that offensive line doing a pretty good job. They're getting a hat on a hat at the point of attack and moving people against their will.
This is their 5th red zone appearance of the day. Just 1 touchdown so far for Ohio. Tuggle takes the option pitch and gets to the corner and scores. Demontre Tuggle.
Bill, the option play for Ohio has been golden. They have been able to run it to perfection. Watch Rourke freeze 2 defenders, not one, but both defenders. One responsible for the quarterback, one responsible for Tuggle. They get their feet in quicksand, and that's all you need on the option. You're going to lose leverage when you stop, and Tuggle's able to walk in for 6 points.
Louis Zervos adds the extra point, and it puts Ohio up by a score of 30-9. Bobcats got the ball at midfield following the turnover. Rourke, the option pitch, a 3-touchdown lead. Well, the Ohio Bobcats have opened up a 30-9 lead here at the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, bidding for their 3rd consecutive bowl game victory. Now let's take a look at what's in store this postseason. It's brought to you by Macy's. Here's what's coming up tomorrow morning: Southern Miss and Tulane. Then on Monday, Louisiana and Miami in the Lending Tree Bowl. And then next Saturday, January 11th, JMU and North Dakota State beating the FCS National Championship, and of course LSU in Clemson in the college football playoff championship game. You were up in Harrisonburg. You saw the JMU team in person.
I did. You know, it was a team that won a hard-fought game over Northern Iowa, and now it seems like the best 2 teams are always meeting in the championship, and they're going to meet again.
Well, we talked an awful lot about Coach Norvell today. You know, he was a sophomore defensive back on Hayden Fry's 1983 Iowa Hawkeyes football team. That was that tremendous staff with Barry Alvarez and Bill Snyder and Kirk Ferentz, Dan McCarney. Bob Stoops was on that staff. 13 assistant coaches at Hayden Fry's went on to become FBS or FCS head coaches. Bunch of Hawkeyes.
It's amazing, you know, what he gleaned from Hayden Fry and being able to call the plays on offense, and said it gave him a better pulse for his football team.
Incomplete. That was the longest deep shot of the day, but a pass interference penalty called. Carson Strong threw that one about as far as he could, and the flag on the play is going to be on Marlon Brooks. Justin Lockhart was the intended receiver.
And Lockhart seemed to have hurt himself as he dove for that play against Marlon Brooks. He went right to the sideline.
22, the defense. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And getting back to Jay Norvell and talking about getting a pulse for his team, that's why he took over the play calling duties. He felt that his coach in college, and Hayden Fry, did that and did it successfully, so he wanted to take back those reins and get a better pulse for what he was doing offensively. And today, now it's a struggle here in the second half to try to throw the football to get some points.
Putman on the reception, another flag on the play. You know, that pass interference penalty, John, that was the first penalty on Ohio for the entire game.
Well, when you talk about Frank Solich, you talk about disciplined football teams. This one may go against Nevada for offensive pass interference.
Pass interference on the offense, number 8. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Replay first down.
So the Wolfpack will be behind the sticks again. It'll be 1st and 25 now, all the way back at the 25-yard line. Let's see what happened on the play.
Yeah, it just looked like a block, not even a pick or a rub. It was to the outside, and it was well down the field on O'Leary Orange.
Ohio coming on the blitz again. That ball is deflected and nearly intercepted by Jared Hampton. The strong safety made a diving attempt.
Tough windows right now to throw the football into for Carson Strong. Little play action. Wants to get down the middle. A lot of white jerseys. Put the football on the hands of his receiver, but it almost ended up in the lap of Jared Hampton on the deflection.
Well, when you're down 21 points, and it's 1st and 25. As a defender here, you know the ball's going to be in the air, and they're in a deep zone. And the freshman Carson Strong is going to have to thread the needle here. Throwing back across his body. It's caught a big hit on the play. Jared Hampton delivers the blow to Elijah Cooks, but he held onto the ball again.
Elijah Cooks has been a playmaker for this offense for the Wolfpack. He's been able to keep plays alive, and let's credit Strong again with his legs and his vision, trying to make a play down the field. You don't teach that one, throwing it back into the middle or across your body, but at this point, down 30-9, you have to start gambling and try to make plays down the field.
And you know, John, now he's got a makeable 3rd down.
That's right.
They need to get to the 50-yard line. Strong has a man, but it's overthrown. Good pressure put on him. He tried to get the ball to Stovall.
And Carson Strong took a shot after delivering that play. McCrory, who has a sack on the afternoon, came in with another big pressure on 3rd and 9. Going to take this hit. Actually, 2 Bobcats back there, but the first one there was McCrory. Connor also there on applying pressure to Carson Strong.
So Conaway will kick it away to Cox. Nice punt. Cox retreats to inside the 10 to field it. And if nothing else, this flips the field. All right, now let's take a look at today's clutch delivery, brought to you by Chipotle.
Well, it's been the edge rushing attack for the Bobcats that has really plagued the Nevada defense. They haven't had an answer for it. It's been the option, the sprint option, where Nathan Rourke is able to freeze 1, sometimes 2 defenders, get the football out on the perimeter to either Julian Ross or DeMontre Tuggle or O'Shawn Allison, and they've been able to get big yards on the ground. Over 200 yards rushing for Ohio. That's their 7th consecutive game in doing that. They've just been hard to stop, especially on that perimeter option play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 22 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty on the end of the kick. 1st down, Ohio. That is his first towards disqualification.
Well, they did a wonderful job pinning him inside the 10-yard line, but a lack of discipline there is going to give Ohio 15 free yards.
Yeah, Conway with a beautiful kick, but now Ohio's going to get the football outside of their own 20-yard line.
Coach Norvell is going to talk with the young man and say, we had him pinned inside the yard line at the 6. So Ohio gets the ball on the 24-yard line. 4 minutes to go for Nathan Rourke and the Bobcats offense here in this 3rd quarter. Julian Ross back in the game. He's the lone back behind the senior QB in his final game in an Ohio Bobcat jersey, Nathan Rourke. On the wheel route, connects with Ross. That'll be enough for the first down. He's banged out of bounds on the 39 by Tyson Williams.
That's a beautiful catch by a running back. That was not an easy reception, let alone for a wide receiver. And now you have a running back on the wheel route to the outside. First, he's going to get the play action to Julian Ross. He's going to find him on the rail right in front of the Nevada bench. That's excellent execution by Ross.
Ross is playing. He's the sophomore from Kansas City. He's in there because O'Shawn Allison was banged up earlier in the game during the first half. And there's that depth the coach Solich talks about and likes, particularly at the tailback position. Faking the run, Rourke lets it go, but airmails it over the head of the intended receiver, Dion Mock.
Another potential big play down the field in the passing game missed by Nathan Rourke. You're not going to see that. That's the third time today, and he's got money in the bank. That's what I always used to say. You got money in the bank to miss those because you've been so good in other areas, and he's been really good in the run game today, and not so much getting that home run shot down the field.
Is it hard if you take a month off? You know, this is a very late bowl game. It's been a long time since these teams have played. Is that one thing that you'd miss out on, the timing?
Yeah, Bill, sometimes your timing are off, but the ones that Nathan's missed today have been wide open. But the one thing he has been able to do is run it consistently.
He picks up big yardage there. That will be another first down for Ohio. Tyson Williams, who's been a busy guy. That's his 6th tackle. He finally tracks down Ohio's quarterback Rourke, but the ball all the way down to the Nevada 44-yard line.
And how pure is this? You don't have any turnovers. You don't give up any sacks. You stay on the field with your offense and you commit one penalty. That is exactly the way you draw it up if you're head coach Frank Solich.
Very clean game for Coach Solich and his team so far. They bogged down in the red zone a few times. Only 2 touchdowns in 6 trips. But their offense has been real strong. Another running play for Ross as we approach the 2.5-minute mark of this third quarter.
Julian Ross on the run.
They've used all 3 running backs, and you hope that O'Shawn Allison's going to be okay because he's been a guy that has been very durable the entire year, but Tuggle and Ross have been able to really pick up the slack, and then you have the consistent running of Rourke. It's just tough to stop because your eyes on defense are going in a lot of different directions.
They're very patient at the line. What did they do here? Now, that time they may have taken a bit too much time. In fact, they had to call timeout. What exactly is Rourke doing? They're taking so much time, even in the first quarter.
Well, I think this is a game plan for Ohio. They're trying to shorten the game. They feel like offensively they're going to get their chances and score points. And I think that they're so confident of their offense staying on the field, they're utilizing that play clock on every possession.
Well, we invite you to tip off your weekend of the new year with our star-studded NBA doubleheader tonight on ESPN and the ESPN app. 76ers and the Rockets at 8. And then LeBron, Anthony Davis, and the Lakers host AD's former team, the Pelicans, at the Staples Center. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown tonight at 7. Ohio led 20-9 at the break, and they've outscored Nevada 10-0 here in the third, looking for more in the final couple of minutes of this third quarter. On the ground again, and a seam for Ross, and he'll pick up the first down once again. Lawson Hall finally tracked down the young man from Kansas City.
Boy, another 8-yard gain. You've been seeing 8, 12, 15, 20-yard gains. This offense has been able to consistently produce on the ground and take some pressure off of Nathan Rourke in his passing game. And it hasn't been gaping holes. I got to credit this offensive line a little bit, but it's been the vision of the backs, being able to go from left to right or right to left, find the crease, and then get north and south.
Ross again, and he'll plow ahead for about 3 more. And clearly now Coach Solich trying to control the clock, pound away at the ball. We're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
And I think that's demoralizing. You know, we talked about the play clock and being able for your quarterback to bring it all the way down and snap it with maybe 2 or 1 seconds left to go. I think that's a confidence on offense, because you know you're going to be able to have success running the football, so why not shorten the game for your team?
They are grinding the ball on the ground, are these Bobcats, with Rourke and Ross. This will be Rourke on the keeper. And that'll be enough for another Ohio first down to the 21-yard line. You know, he said one of the reasons I decided to play football growing up in suburban Toronto, Nathan Rourke, he said, you know, to be honest, I just wasn't a really good skater.
That's how I got half of my linemen in Canada. They couldn't skate backwards.
That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. And these Bobcats bidding for their 3rd consecutive bowl win, really dominating the 3rd. They'll take a 30-9 lead as we head to the 4th in Boise. This group of Ohio fans has made the trip over 2,200 miles west from Athens, Ohio, here to Boise, and they're enjoying the game. Their team leads 30-9 thanks to Nathan Rourke. He's run for over 100 yards. He's thrown for 137. He's got the Bobcats looking for more as we start the 4th quarter from the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise. Rourke to the end zone, and it's incomplete. That was Shane Hooks, the intended receiver.
This offense has been explosive today, especially using the option on the ground. The quarterback runs from Rourke and the 3-headed monster in the backfield of Ross, Tuggle, and Allison. They've done a nice job of spreading the wealth on the ground. 391 total yards for Ohio through 3 quarters.
The last couple games they put up big numbers against Bowling Green and Akron, and those are 2 teams that struggled this year in the MAC. But even if you go back, John, over the last 3 years, they've averaged over 35 points per game. They're the highest scoring MAC team over the last 3 seasons. Here is Tuggle trying to break it outside, and he gets knocked out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, Bill, not only their offense, but their defense, especially in bowl games, now make it 11 quarters in a row that opposing offenses have been held out of the end zone. So you hold a team to 3 field goals, and you have so much success not only running the football, but in doing so, shortening the game. It limits your opportunities for the opposing offense to have those game-winning drives or put positive plays together when you have offense, defense, and special teams playing together so cleanly as Ohio is doing today.
3rd down and 4 now for Nathan Rourke and Ohio. He pitches just as he was getting hit, and the ball is on the field, and the Bobcats turn it over for the first time. Well, Gabe Sewell did not play in the first half, you know, but he created that play, getting pressure on Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, it looked like Sewell was the guy in the backfield. Maybe Hammond was the player that got on the football with the fumble recovery. This is the first time that the option has been stopped, and it was stopped because they lost the relationship of quarterback and pitch and running back in the pitch game. The ball gets on the ground, Tuggle can't get on it, and Hammond gets the turnover for the Wolfpack.
You know, that's the first time in 5 games that Nevada has recovered an opponent's fumble. It had been a while since the ball was on the ground, and they get it. Trying to make a rally now here in the 4th quarter. Down 3 scores. Carson Strong to the air, and he's got his man, and this has got a chance. Out to the 45-yard line. Boy, Putman on the slant had big yards and a flag at the end of the play as well.
Yeah, they may get a horse collar tacked on to this gain. It had been Alvin Floyd, the safety, that came in with the tackle and the penalty.
There's no foul to play. Result, first down.
It's the third time today that they have picked up a flag. But, you know, Strong has had a decent game. In fact, better than decent. He's thrown for 212 yards. When he steps into the throws like this, John,
well, it's a quick
accurate.
release. He's got the quick release. He's tall at 6'4". He's got good vision and good feet. So anytime that he has enough time to find a receiver, he's been accurate down the field.
We're going back to the UNLV game, and today 66% of his passes he's completed, 7 touchdowns.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12-minute formation.
This time I count 12.
Bates first down.
Coach Solich looking at Key Thompson, pulls him out of the game. He evidently was the 12th guy on the field. So it'll be first down and 5. Just the second penalty, however, on the Bobcats today. Faking the handoff, Strong throwing it deep, looking for Cooks, a jump ball. And it's incomplete in the end zone.
That was a battle around the goal line. There's 2 defenders back there, Burchett, and it looked like maybe Hagan out of the safety position battling Cooks in the end zone. That was a good effort by Carson Strong to even get this football close because he was under duress the entire time. He was pressured by Sam McKnight in the pocket. So good plays all around. Ends up second and medium for the Wolfpack.
Quick throw again, and it's caught by Stovall, and he rumbles ahead to the 39-yard line. That will give Nevada another first down. The passing numbers for Strong are going to be good today. You know, overall, their offensive numbers are good. The problem is, John, they've had to settle for field goals on their scoring drives.
They have to find a way to finish these drives.
Quick throw to the left. They set up the screen. That is Brendan O'Leary orange. And now some rhythm offensively for the Wolfpack and Carson Strong.
Good effort shown by the Pack here on offense because they're running plays with succession. They're not wasting a whole lot of time. They're getting up to the line of scrimmage. You're getting chunk yardage plays. That's exactly what they need with this clock winding down in the fourth quarter.
Another quick throw and catch. That'll be down to the 20-yard line. O'Leary orange again. He's also a Canadian, young man from Toronto.
And he's the 5th-year senior, but we've seen Stovall and Cooks and Lockhart. Those guys are younger guys that are going to be around and grow with Carson Strong in this offense.
Pickup of 6. It will be second down and 4 for the Pack. They finished 3rd in the Mountain West Conference West this year, thanks to a strong finish. Strong letting it go to the right side, and that's incomplete. He was trying to get Putman over there in the corner.
Well, good coverage and good communication in the secondary by Ohio that time. Trying to get the pump fake, get the eyes in the backfield and slip somebody behind coverage, and that was good discipline shown by the defensive back coverage from Ohio. I thought Marlon Brooks was doing a good job of communicating from his position.
Jay Norvell, the head coach and play caller, calls this play in. This is likely 4-down territory, though, don't you think?
I would think so, yes.
They run the ball on 3rd down to Devontae Lee.
That second and third effort got him close, but I still think Billy may be a yard short of the first down.
Less than a yard, though, so 4th and let's call it a foot.
I think you got to give it to Lee again. Give him another opportunity to get that big body going north and south.
Lee's 230, and they're going to go right with the Wildcat here on this. A direct snap to Lee, running to the right, and he's got the first down.
Touchdown saving tackle by Motley, but Lee showing you a little bit of juice to the outside. He's 5'8", 230 pounds. That's a load coming downhill at you. You just want to get to the legs and try to knock him out that way. But Lee keeps this drive alive and keeps the hopes for the Pack offense high.
They're looking for their first touchdown of the day and the first touchdown against Ohio in a bowl game in 11 quarters.
I think you got to try to get the football to Cooks here on a corner route. Try to get him the football quickly.
Strong lets it go. That'll get the ball inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. About a 4-yard pickup on the first down play.
As a quarterback here, Carson Strong needs to communicate what he needs to on the play call, but get these guys to the line of scrimmage and run plays. You don't want to waste a whole lot of time down here.
Strong lets that go left corner, and it is caught for the touchdown. Nicely done. Cooks hauls it in over the shoulder, and the Wolfpack is still alive.
Beautiful throw by Carson Strong. He put enough air under the football on this corner route to allow Elijah Cooks to run to the back pylon and outrun coverage. It's just a simple corner route, smash route to the wide side of the field, outside receiver coming in, inside receiver going to the back corner. Perfect throw by Carson Strong. 10 plays, 78 yards, and it looks like they're going to kick the extra point here to make it 30-16.
And it would be a 14-point game. And they botch the snap. And it remains 30-15. Elijah Cooks, touchdown in the end zone. Keeps Nevada in this one. Elijah Cooks having a career day, 11 catches. Touchdown brings Nevada back to within 2 scores early here in quarter number 4. 30-15 is the score. It was Dylan Connor, by the way, that came in and blocked that extra point.
Yeah, that was just a clean block by Connor, but getting back to Cooks, if you're a quarterback, man, why wouldn't you want to throw to this guy? He's been open all afternoon, 6'4", 215 pounds, gives you a great catch radius, and I think Jay Norvell, talking to him yesterday, says it's not about the plays, it's about the players, putting them in the best position. Right now in this second half, he's been getting Cooks in some pretty good spots to receive the football.
Well, tomorrow morning on ESPN and the ESPN app, Bowl Mania rolls on with the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl game between Southern Miss and Tulane in Fort Worth. 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Central. Southern Miss, the Golden Eagles, and the Green Wave of Tulane tomorrow.
Tulane's been a fun team to watch. They score a lot of points, have an exciting offense, and kind of get after it with the quarterback run, much like Ohio.
Yeah, Willie Fritz, I think, is one of the more underrated coaches around right now. Done a tremendous job everywhere he's been, including at Tulane the last couple of years. Staying with the passing game, Nathan Rourke lets it go, and Ty Walton has yet another reception, his third of the game.
You know, it's funny the way Ohio played that first half. They really relied on the running game. And in the second half, especially in the third quarter, they came out and spread the football out a little bit more in the passing game. That was their wrinkle, their adjustment from halftime. And so far, it's paid off in a 15-point lead.
Rourke in no hurry here. Still 13 seconds on the play clock. They don't huddle, they get to the line quickly, but they are very patient once they get there. Nice option pitch with the right hand, and that'll be another first down run for Julian Ross. Picks up 4 yards on the play, and that'll move the sticks.
I know it was the option play that created the turnover for Nevada in their defense, but it's been the option that has been the bread and butter for Ohio in their offense on the perimeter.
So when we talked with Coach Norvell yesterday, he mentioned the fact that, you know, we've seen the option. Air Force runs the option in our league, but this is a different type of option.
This is the speed option, and this is more in space where you have Air Force with kind of similar formations, a lot of motion. You have to have a lot of eye discipline and gap discipline. Here, you have traditional sets, and you're running the option from it.
Rourke hit as he throws, and the ball is free. And the Pack has it again. Dom Peterson with a game-changing play. Rourke is rocked, and the Pack is in business.
And Rourke is still down. He took a shot from Dom Peterson. Never saw him coming off of the right side.
Nathan Rourke hit hard by Don Peterson. Here in this fourth quarter, a big play and a developing situation in Boise.
Previous plays under review.
The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Brought to you by Famous Idaho Potatoes. Always look for the grown-in Idaho seal. And NerdWallet. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds at NerdWallet.
Nevada's defense has forced turnovers on back-to-back possessions. John, this time off the end. Don Peterson made the play.
Well, he's the guy that really comes off the edge, but both guys, both Grimes, the right tackle, and tight end Lorman had a chance to get a body on body. Both guys turned down the block on Don Peterson, just a miscommunication, and that ends up to the turnover. Now it could lead to a touchdown.
First down carry and a big gain for Toatawa inside the 5-yard line. He's all the way to the 2, and Nevada has an opportunity to score quickly and get right back in this.
That's exactly how you would want it drawn up for Nevada. A quick score to cut the lead in half with plenty of time in this fourth quarter. Sudden change defense has to appear for Ohio, and it doesn't appear they're going to have enough.
Devontae Lee with the carry, puts his shoulders down, stretches inside the 1, and they rolling down just shy of the goal line as Javon Hagan, the veteran safety, kept him out of the end zone.
What a tackle by Hagan, showing strength right at the goal line. This is just man on man. You're going to get Hagan's wearing 7. He squares up his shoulder on a big running back in Lee at 230 pounds, and he wins that battle. Low man wins, and that time Hagan was the low man.
You think Lee gets it again, John?
Why not?
There he goes, tries to go airborne. Second effort, tries to stretch across and scores. Touchdown, Nevada. Lee didn't get it on the leap, John, but he got it on second effort.
And it might have been the third effort. I think Nevada's going to go for 2 here with the block on that last touchdown, but watch Lee get airborne. He's met by a couple of Ohio defenders. Dorsa, the first one there, and he sticks out the ball with his right hand and obviously breaks the plane there. Couldn't tell if his left knee might have been down before the ball breaks the plane, but the officials see nothing wrong with it. So it's 30-21 now, Ohio. And if I'm Ohio, I'm looking for number 4. Where is Elijah Cooks lined up? He's all the way to the right side, furthest from the football. Got to be coming on an in-cut here.
The lob to the right side of the end zone and incomplete. So the 2-point conversion attempt fails. Cole Turner, the intended receiver, but we have ourselves a game in Boise.
Tremendous effort by both teams on both defense and offense. That was back and forth, but Nevada fighting back, getting the turnover on the sack fumble, and then punching it in by Lee to cut the deficit to 9.
The College Football Playoff National Championship game. Number 1 LSU, number 3 Clemson, January 13th at 8 on ESPN.
Julian Ross, the tough touchdown run, makes it a 30-21 game with 8:42 to play. Now they went for the 2-point conversion, maybe a bit early, so now they know for sure they're going to have to score twice.
Yeah, and they've had some difficulty. They had the block conversion on the touchdown prior, and then they missed the 2-point conversion that time. So Ohio definitely wants to get this football and eat some clock up.
Long on the return, gets to the 25-yard line. Let's go down to Chris.
Bill, Nathan Rourke is going to come out and play this series after taking a shot to the right forearm area. He did not receive any treatment, but he did gather his entire offense over, huddled up, and looked them in the eye and said, "We didn't reach our goal of winning a MAC championship, but we are winning this one. Do not let it slip away. This is our moment. Fight for each other."
Wildcats have turned the ball over on their last 2 possessions. They run the option again. Tuggle takes the pitch. And Tuggle has some room to run. Demontre Tuggle across midfield and cuts back ahead to the 44-yard line before Muhammad brings him down. That is a 29-yard run for Tuggle.
And Bill, again, it's the option play that Ohio goes to. That has been their go-to play, their bread and butter play the entire afternoon. Tuggle this time on the receiving end. Cuts it back and for 29 yards moves the football into the plus territory.
The veteran quarterback Nathan Rourke, who has been a record-setting QB in the MAC and in Ohio in his final game. You knew he wasn't going to sit out after taking that hit. They keep it on the ground again to Demontre Tuggle, and the young man who goes by Hollywood gets about a yard on the play.
Well, that one explosive play is exactly what Ohio needed. They get the ball in positive territory, and they're able to use the clock now. They need 1 or 2 more first downs, and they're in scoring position. And more importantly, they're going to get the clock around 5 minutes to go, 4.5 minutes to go if they can achieve those 2 things.
Rourke being very patient, looking to the sideline and looking to the play clock here. Milking as much time off the clock as he can. 2nd down and 9. Going to throw it, and that's going to stop the clock. Good pressure put on by Gabriel Sewell. You know, he's made an impact here in the second half after sitting out the first.
He really has. He's one of those guys that they count on to make plays. You miss him for 30 minutes of this football game, and as you said, in this second half, he's made a couple of game-changing plays for this defense. Number 1, he snuffs out the play action, and he stops the clock with 7:04 left to go. A huge 3rd down for Ohio here.
He's been a difference maker here in this 3rd quarter. He's playing in his final game as well, a senior for the Wolfpack. 3rd down and 9. QB draw, and down goes Rourke. Big hit by Tyson Williams, and the Pack gets the stop.
Well, they bring extra pressure from the secondary. Good call by offensive coordinator Tim Albin, but a better open field tackle. Tyson Williams saw the quarterback draw the entire way, decides to cut back inside to pressure the pocket, and gets a loss of 1 on 3rd down.
Here's Michael Farkas, his first punt of the day. Ben Putman is the return man for Nevada as we come down the stretch of this famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Farkas trying to hit it inside the 10, and it's going to skip it to the touchback. Nevada trailing by 9 here in Boise. Gets the ball when we come back. Well, the Nevada Wolfpack have made this interesting with a big rally here in this second half, starting with the turnovers.
Well, it's been the turnovers out of this defense that has set up the offense. Here you get the turnover and the touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone. Then the big hit by Dom Peterson. That cut the field in half, sets up the Pack offense inside the red zone, and you get the stretch play, the strength of running back Lee to reach over the goal line for the touchdown to cut the deficit to 9 points. Now you've got 6:12 left to go and only trailing by 9.
Carson Strong, the freshman, has thrown for 276 yards, looking for more, and a leaping grab. No, incomplete. A tremendous effort by Putnam. Had both hands on the ball, and boy, if he catches it in stride, John, he's gone the distance.
That is correct. Putnam had an opportunity, and he made an effort to leave his feet. A better throw. Plenty of room over the linebacker to drop this one in the bucket, but maybe a half a yard too much for Putnam. Both quarterbacks have missed wide open receivers for potentially game-changing plays.
Strong to the sideline. It's hauled in by Stovall. And he's out of bounds right at the 30. And that should be enough for the first down. Yes, it is. First down for Nevada. Well, we were told that there would be some trick plays today for the guys from Reno. Hasn't happened yet. This feels like a time where we might see one, no?
Maybe closer to midfield. Maybe the next big play, you run up to the line of scrimmage and you use what's in your arsenal.
Strong has some room to run here. Instead, he flips it. A leaping grab by Stovall across midfield. And here comes the Wolfpack. Jaron Hampton makes the play. He could have run for 15, but he threw and got about 18.
This might be the area on the field if you're thinking about that. A double reverse, some type of halfback pass.
Strong over 300 yards passing now. There was no one home there. Incomplete.
Look at the field. It's an incomplete pass. Second down.
It looked like Toa was in the area because he was still in the pocket. Another pressure by Jack McCrory. He's been in the pocket in this second half a couple of times to make it uncomfortable for Carson Strong.
Strong on second down and 10, a delayed blitz. He gets it out of there to Cooks on the crossing route. And a tremendous open field tackle by Jaron Hampton, the fifth-year man from Astoria, Ohio, for the Bobcats.
That was a beautiful tackle, keeping a playmaker like Cooks in bounds and keeping that clock turning towards triple zeros. But now you've got third and about 9. If you got 2 plays, you got 2 cracks at it from here. You want to get positive yards here on third down, make it a better fourth down situation if you don't pick up the first down.
Strong to the air again. It's caught but shy of the sticks by Putnam. And it will be fourth down and short as we approach the 4:30 mark in the fourth quarter.
And it looks like Wolfpack on offense maybe going to that wildcat formation, bringing in Lee as the quarterback as Carson Strong was hit after that completion on third down.
Lee at 230 pounds is their big goal line back. They'll run out of the wildcat. The direct snap to him. He's got the first down and he'll plow his way with those strong legs ahead to the 32. He's a hoss to bring down, isn't he?
He sure is. He's a wide body at 5'8", 230. He's tough to bring down, although we've seen Hagan do it at the goal line once earlier in this game. But once he gets going north and south, it's tough to bring him down with one defender.
From the 32, Strong to the air once more. Steps into that one, and it's caught inside the 5-yard line, or at the 6 actually, by Cooks. Coming back for the football. First and goal now for the Wolfpack.
Cooks has been sensational in this football game, especially in the second half, using that big frame at 6'4". He looked like a basketball player getting a rebound in the paint. Watch him use his body to really block out the defender, keep him on the hip. That was Motley trying to fight through that big frame.
Levante Lee on the pitch, and it's a trick play. He tried to flip it over on a reverse. The ball pops free, and the Bobcats have it.
The ruling on the field is a fumble by the offense, recovered by the defense. First down, Ohio.
Bill, it looked like someone from Ohio on defense swatted the pitch. It might have been Austin Conrad, the defensive end. We were thinking they may try the trick play closer to midfield, but they were moving it so successfully. There's the bat of the football by Conrad. Just a beautiful athletic play. It looks like Coleman gets on the football for the recovery for Ohio on defense, but what an awareness by Conrad to get the football. I'm not so sure why you dial up that play inside the 5. I thought it would be more around midfield where you'd see that trick play.
Oh, we had a hunch it was coming, and Cooks was going to flip it back, throw to the end zone. Now Ohio will try to run out the clock with 3:12 to play. Here's Julian Ross on the first down carry.
Looks like we got a timeout by Nevada.
Well, fans tune into the ESPN app for the post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One immediately following the game.
Timeout. Nevada. They're first. Please set the clock to 3:06. 3:06. Thank you.
Oh, Nevada was hoping to make an incredible rally here, trailing 30-9 late in the third. They came roaring back, but a costly turnover inside the red zone.
I know it's easy to say after the fact, but you had a wide receiver in Elijah Cooks that was man-to-man on the outside. Why not throw it up to him 3 times if you're going to get it 3 times? Because it looked like he was the best player on the field at that time offensively.
Cooks has 13 catches today, thrown by that young man, Carson Strong. Cooks 155 yards receiving, a career day. You know we'd love one more chance, but they got to get the ball back. Handoff goes to Julian Ross. He gets to the 33-yard line, and Nevada will call its second timeout with 2:55 to play. Well, Sooners, Buckeyes, 2 types of Tigers, all with one goal, the national championship. In episode 2, Dabo Swinney motivates his team during the college football playoff semifinal game against Ohio State. It's all inside the college football playoff. Episode 2, now streaming on ESPN+. Take a look at this. Joe Burrow, look at his numbers. Trevor Lawrence, look at his. Pretty impressive coming into the championship game.
2 exceptional quarterbacks, and they do it a little bit differently. Joe Burrow, I've been so impressed with his awareness in the pocket, outside of the pocket, being able to be accurate downfield. And then Trevor Lawrence, really, his legs won that game for Clemson. You know, the way he was able to run the football effectively and equally throw it from the pocket. But I just thought his athleticism carried Clemson over Ohio State. It's going to be one heck of a championship game.
3rd down and 2 with 3 minutes to play. Nevada needs one more stop and then a timeout to force a punt.
What do you think the chances are option here?
Up the middle. That is Ross. Didn't get it. So the timeout taken by Nevada with 2:51 to play. Well, we talked about the fact that Burrow is from Athens, Ohio. Ryan and Adam Lorman, the tight ends for the Bobcats, both played football with Coach Burrow, and they want to wish their former teammate luck in the national championship game. Let's listen to the Lormans.
I just want to congratulate Joe Burrow and his family on a successful season and making it to the national championship. We'll be cheering you on in New Orleans. We'll make the visit down there, and all of us from the real OU would like to say just congratulations. I know you'll finish the fight. Go Tigers.
The real OU.
Yeah,
they say.
Got that one in. There we go.
But for the Lorman brothers, the 2 tight ends for Ohio that played with Joe at Athens High School in Athens, Ohio, they're going right from Boise to the championship game.
Yeah, that must be fun for a guy that you went to high school with and, you know, probably played multiple sports with, to see him reach the heights that Joe has reached and have 2 guys that are pulling for you, you know, that you probably grew up with and have been friends with all your life.
Well, for those that don't know, Joe's dad was the longtime assistant coach at Ohio, and he retired before this season to follow Joe at LSU. Jimmy Burrow spent 14 seasons on the staff with Coach Solich. What an experience for Jimmy and everyone in Athens, Ohio. Here's Michael Farkas to punt the football away. Ben Putman is the return man. Putman from the 25. He takes a heavy hit near the 33-yard line. And the Wolfpack will have it with 2:45 to play. Well, what a turnaround for that defense for Nevada in the second half. They got the turnovers and they got 2 stops.
Well, they took advantage of the defense setting up the offense, and the offense finished, but it was the defense that really set the tone. And I felt that Ohio was coming out throwing the football so easily in the third quarter. I thought they were going to run away and hide in this second half, but let's credit Nevada, their toughness and the way they've been able to make plays. They still have 2:45 left to go. They need a couple of scores, but still have a chance here on offense.
And Carson Strong, the freshman quarterback, giving Nevada fans great hope for the future. He's thrown for 343 yards, and he'll be putting it up now in the final 2:45. Big 6'4" freshman with a big arm. There's that arm, but he threw it right to the safety. Couldn't hang on. Right through the hands of Javon Hagan in his final game. He'll make that catch 9 out of 10 times, John.
Boy, and he wished he could have that one back. We talked about a number of plays that players would love to have back. This one might end the game if he catches the ball in center field. Remember that one.
That one is completed to Stovall. That'll be enough for the first down out to the 48-yard line.
What a catch.
Amazing.
By the freshman, going down in the turf, the blue turf, with one hand to scoop it and keep this drive alive. He sprints past 2 Ohio defenders, goes down, and one hands this grab.
A deep shot down the sideline and an over-the-shoulder grab by Cooks. Another big throw for Carson Strong.
What a throw by Carson Strong and a finish by Elijah Cooks. Perfectly thrown pass just over the arms of Motley. If you get the coverage, you throw a fade to him right back here. Number 4, short side of the field. That's where Cooks is lined up. Give him a chance to go up and get the football again.
First down and goal. Strong flipping to the end zone. That one's over the head of Cooks. Motley had the coverage on the play.
I like the idea. If you put the football in a position where he's able to go up and get it, I think he grabs it over the defender again. But he's spent right now. You can tell that long play really took a lot out of him. How about the afternoon Carson Strong has had? Now he's over 400 yards passing.
It's been a great comeback by Nevada, but they need to score twice. Strong to the end zone, through the hands of the intended receiver. Fired that one too strong for O'Leary Orange.
I would try to come back to that corner route that they ran earlier in this quarter for the touchdown. They had Elijah Cooks in the slot, and they were able to get a good matchup and throw it to the back pylon. I don't see that formation coming here, but you might get the same play.
Oh, they had to settle for 3 field goals in the first half, and they missed 2 extra points here in the second, but not out of it yet. Quick flip, ruled incomplete in the right corner of the end zone, intended for Cooks.
Well, you need 2 scores with the score at 30-21. Doesn't seem like the special teams unit's going to come out on the field just yet. Well, I don't know. Without any timeouts, I think you might want to take the points, the sure points here, come back and try to get an onside kick, but they're going to keep that offense out on the field.
Kick the field goal now and then try to get the ball right back, correct?
Yeah.
Instead, they'll go for it. Strong, backpedals, throws to the end zone. It is incomplete. And the Bobcats hold. Brendan O'Leary Orange was the intended receiver. And again, kind of the story of this game, John. Nevada able to drive inside the red zone, comes up scoreless.
Well, they weren't able to finish all game, but I think the call here was to take the points and take your chances either at a pooch kick or an onside kick. Give yourself that opportunity to extend the game.
Because with no timeouts left, now you cannot stop the clock, and Ohio can run out the clock.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. It was a valiant effort by Carson Strong and Elijah Cooks, but at the end, they just couldn't finish in the game. Earlier in the game, when they had to settle for field goals, as you mentioned, they were in the red zone a number of times, and they just couldn't find a way to get 6 points consistently enough.
6 red zone possessions today for Coach Norvell's team, only 2 touchdowns. And there is our Capital One player of the game. It is Nathan Rourke, who dominated this game in the first half and is going to lead Ohio to its 3rd straight bowl victory and end his career, a brilliant career, playing for the final time in that white and green jersey number 12.
It was a brilliant career, and hats off to Nathan, but you have to really say that Elijah Cooks and Carson Strong, those guys were real close in pushing the envelope for the most valuable player of the game. But you got to credit what he's done over his career, his 3 years of starting. He's been an all-MAC selection in all 3 years, this year first team, and he's meant everything to this program.
One more kneel down for Nathan Rourke. And they are dumping French fries.
Why not?
On Coach Solich here in Idaho. And the famous Idaho Potato Bowl championship will go to the Ohio University Bobcats. It ended up being a dramatic second half. The Nevada team finally able to get things going. They got turnovers, they got defensive stops, but they left too many points on the field.
Well, I think that was the biggest change in the second half was the Nevada defense. They were able to come up with 2 big turnovers that they turned into points and made it a football game until late in this 4th quarter. But they couldn't finish in the first half, and it ended up coming back late in the 4th quarter where they couldn't find points on that last drive.
Rourke may not give up that football either, John.
I wouldn't. Take that one home to Toronto, to Oakville, Canada.
You know what it's like when you win your final game as a collegiate player. You don't want to take that jersey off. And that young man from Nevada is going to have an opportunity to play a lot more games. Well, for Coach Solich, the 75-year-old, big whistle for Ohio. It's another bowl win, 3rd in a row. He's with Chris.
Coach, back-to-back bowl wins for you. You get it done on the ground in the first half. The defense steps up towards the end in the second. How would you describe today's game?
It was a hard-fought football game. A lot of credit to them for coming back the way they did in the second half. You know, we had a couple of turnovers that were really troublesome to us in terms of getting more points on the board. And when you have that, it can come back to haunt you pretty quickly. You know, their receiver had a great ball game. You know, Cooks, what a great game he had. Quarterback threw the ball pretty well. The key was they could not get a running game going against us, and that helped.
You have some special seniors, guys like Nathan Rourke, who will end their career with back-to-back bowl wins. What does this win mean for them?
Well, it means a lot. You know, they've it's actually 3 bowl games in a row now. Yeah, let's get that straight now.
Sorry about it.
No, but that's it's been a super group to be able to get that accomplished, and I was really proud of how they handled this year. You know, we lost some close ones, got taken out of what we were all about in terms of our major goal, our one goal that was high up there, and but they came out every day practice and came back, won real handily our last 2 ball games, and then a great convincing win here. So proud of those guys.
At 75 years old, what do you take away from this season and this win?
Well, you know, just that we've got guys that I'm around, surrounded with coaches and players who are special. They make it easy on me.
I appreciate it. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ohio wins the famous Idaho Potato Bowl thanks to its tremendous quarterback, Nathan Rourke. Our final score, Ohio 30 and Nevada 21. For John Congemi and Chris Budden, This is Bill Roth. Now let's send you to NBA Countdown. Thanks for watching our game, and so long from Boise. Well, we welcome you back, everyone watching. The Ohio University Bobcats, tremendous first half. They're able to hold on in the second half. From the Nevada perspective, boy, the trick play, the going for two. Some folks in Nevada are probably wondering what happened down the stretch.
Well, there were some questionable calls and decisions at the end of the game, but you have to credit Nevada and the way they came back defensively in the second half, forcing 2 turnovers, finding a way to get their offense on the field, and then it was the Carson Strong to Elijah Cooks show in that second half. Those 2 guys really brought this team and gave them a chance to win at the end. But Ohio in the first half, I thought that was the difference. Nathan Rourke and his running and the option on the outside, they did just enough to build a cushion that Nevada just couldn't cut into enough to win the game.
How about this team? You know, they didn't get off to the start they wanted. They had to scramble so hard just to get into a bowl game, and now they've won bowl games 3 years in a row. What does that tell us about the program that Coach Solich has?
Well, I think Coach Solich brings stability. I think that he brings a confidence, and he requires you play disciplined brand of football, and they did. They didn't beat themselves today. They did cough the football up, but you have to credit that to Nevada, the way that they played on defense. I think they did enough, Ohio did, in terms of being able to create positive plays on offense, get enough stops on defense, and then ultimately finding a way to win at the end.
Welcome to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl trophy presentation, and it is presented by Capital One. The festivities down on the field are about to begin, but first, this message.
Promise that you'll never find another like me. I'm the only one of me. Baby, that's the fun of me.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
Okay. Well, let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance, John.
Well, it was Nathan Rourke. He did such a great job in being able to lead his team to victory, especially in the running game. He was able to use his legs in the first half to keep this offense on the field, move the chains, and most importantly, find ways to get the football into the end zone. He did throw the football coming out in that third quarter that really was the changeup for Ohio in their offense, but it was his running, this 34-yard rushing touchdown earlier in the game. He ran away from the Wolfpack on defense, and that did just enough to build a cushion for Ohio to hang on to in that second half.
They're going to take a championship trophy back to Athens. Let's go down to Chris.
If I could get everyone's attention, we are going to start the trophy presentation. I first off want to thank all the fans for coming out here and watching today's incredibly exciting game. So round of applause for both teams today.
Please direct your attention to the field for the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
As we wait for some of the champions to get up here, presenting tonight's Most Valuable Player Award for the Idaho Potato Commission is President and CEO Frank Muir. Tonight's Most Valuable Player goes to Nathan Rourke. First up, congratulations, and how are you feeling?
I'm doing well. In Nevada, they played so hard, and obviously I'm going to feel it tomorrow a little bit.
Your senior year, you capped this off with another bowl victory. Describe first what this win means to you in this program.
Yeah, I mean, just for so many people on this team, and they've given us so many opportunities, and I'm so happy for this senior class and to be a part of it because they deserve it so much. They work out, in and out, and they just all year round, and I'm just so proud to be a part of this team right now.
It's been a long journey for you from Canada to Alabama to finally Ohio, and you cap it off like this. How would you describe your career there?
I'm not really one for individual accomplishments. I'm so proud to be a part of 3 consecutive bowl victories, and that's what I'm most proud of.
I'm going to ask about the man next to you. How would you describe Frank Solich?
Players love him, and it's easy to see why. He works extremely hard, and he's such a genuine person. He really genuinely cares about the players, and you can just see how much the players appreciate him. And I'm so happy for Ohio University. He's going to be there a couple more years.
I appreciate it. Congratulations, your most valuable player for today, Nathan Rourke. Round of applause. Now presenting for the 23rd annual Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, the championship trophy will be presented by Executive Director Kevin McDonald. Frank Solich, the head coach of Ohio University. Congratulations, Coach. Coach, you smell like French fries a little bit. How was the French fry bath, Coach?
Nathan, you got to throw one. Your last completion.
Coach, how was the French fry bath?
Well, it was a lot easier than the water baths that I get on occasion. That was great. We have a great group of players, and appreciate what they've been all about. And I'm glad to see them celebrating in a manner that they are. They deserve it. Had a great year and came back off of some tough, close losses and played excellent down the stretch.
Take some wins down the stretch to get to this point. What did your team prove to you this season?
Well, they've certainly got a lot of stamina. You can rely on these guys to show up every week to practice in a manner that's going to move them forward, regardless of how the game went the past week. And so proud of them in that regard, certainly.
You got a tough quarterback standing next to you.
Yeah.
What can you say about him and his career at Ohio?
Yeah, well, he's been a tremendous leader for us, not only on the football field, but off the football field. Great young man. He's going to have a lot of success no matter what he ends up doing as he goes forward with his life. He's a special person.
Well, congratulations, Coach. I appreciate it. And go celebrate with your team.
All right. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the Ohio Bobcats, your champions of the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming out.